I had a gaming laptop when I was in college, and it was like a gift after graduating high school. And oh my, like watching a fucking YouTube video would just like make it go like ape shit because the graphics cards makes the fan need to go so fucking hot.
It's not even a gaming laptop. It's a good laptop. I mean, I played CS:GO my freshman year of college on this thing at like 40 FPS, which is not good, but okay, let's see. It should be working. Keyword should. What am I doing right now? What's general start? Jesus Christ. Okay, wait, is it showing the game?
Yeah, I can see it.
Shit, okay. So it's not. Fans actually not kicking, which is so impressive right now. Oh wait, no, not load. Okay, so I just use Flavia for the neutrality's sake.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's like I don't know. I've seen some people like sending me screenshots of them playing Russia, and I'm just like, you're missing the point.
I
But
think I have everything here too as well.
yeah,
Okay. And then I did like I copied your
perfect.
just find the first letter,
Yes, sir.
fucking send it. Also, do you want me to do like a purely trad or lib, or do you want me to?
I want you
You
to.
want to see my Neanderthal brain decide to go piety on land that's probably not piety.
I want you to make a save on turn 0, and then
Okay.
I want you to explain your whole thought process for the first 20 turns.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Perfect.
All right, initial thoughts. You can just press save here. You'll be fine.
I gotta give it a fun name.
Okay,
Gives me more investment. Okay.
sounds good.
Initial thoughts. Um, I mean, this is great. No shrine. Gotta love the two forested deer hills. I only see three granary. I mean, I like my start. It's not like the most amazing start, but it's pretty good, I'd imagine. On River, we've got two first ring chops. Tobacco means no shrine. Plains, I personally like plains biomes. I don't know if they're the best, but um, yeah, iron's probably here, so there's like zero reason to move whatsoever. I think that's about it. I'm not really thinking. I don't think Liberty or Trad until like turn 6 until I get my scouts out. Then I'm like, I think maybe on the start I'd probably be leaning Liberty. I don't think I'm seeing anything that like screams tradition or tall play in general.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with literally everything you said. I think it's less of a lean for me, and it's like I'd need to be so ungodly convinced that this isn't a monument for the most part. But yeah,
Yeah,
no, I agree
I'm gonna
completely.
slab it down. Kill the scouts. Lock that in. Tech mining. I guess either hill is probably fine. Although there's like forested and hill shit, I feel like there's more flatland over here. Oh, great. Oh, there's another granary resource. Fuck. Warriors. The most useless warrior. I guess you can go this way, but pain. This is also telling me I'm top left, maybe?
You're definitely top, but where we don't know.
I don't see this coast curve down, but I guess it could just go flat. I guess, yeah, not okay. Cool. Peninsula one. Possibly a city right here. Maybe it's not. Nah, it's not terrible. Very easy. City state. I always like to check these for honor purposes to see if it has.
Militaristic or hostile?
Yeah, that looks like a shit city state.
I'm
Got like
telling you,
a
anyone,
golf course.
anyone who defends coastal honor is fucking brain dead. Because you want to take that shit? Yeah, no thanks.
I watched Mayota do a honored coastal play on Norway the other day. I was like, okay, he's doing it, but then he actually like made it work. And I was like, oh
Yeah,
shit,
I mean
okay.
it can certainly work, but I think most of the time you're gonna get cities that look like that. And
As someone who's done this multiple times and suffered for it a lot, Norway is one of the better civs for it. That doesn't make it good.
Oh shit, I've got an audience now. What the hell? I didn't realize there were other people here. Sick. Okay. Oh yeah, we're still going. I'm going way too slow. Panicking. Okay, now this is something I feel like I fuck up a lot.
Mhm.
Is my like scouting in general, because like my monkey brain wants to go like warrior across the river and kind of see more over here, but I feel like it's probably better to just bring them back this way onto this hill. I have no idea.
Where do you want to bring this scout?
That's a good question. I'd say straight onto the sheep hill and kind of scope this way. This is coast over here. I mean, actually, I don't know. I'm just highly doubtful that there's a coastal player over off to my left side. I feel like any ruins over here are probably pretty safe for me to grab. I want to contest any inland shit here.
Why do you think the left side's coast?
Well, this dips down a little bit, but it looks like it flattens out a little bit. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know which way I would go with the scout. I feel like scouting might be some of my weaknesses.
When I ask you questions, I'm not telling you you're wrong. I want to,
But,
yeah. But I mean, I agree. I think to the left is coast.
yeah, so I would go here with my scout.
Yep.
Which makes most sense. Maybe one at a time. It's a tiny ass wood right there. This looks like it's gonna be potentially rough land. I feel like it's worth to go a little bit like, because this, he can still come back this way, and there's probably not a unit in here.
So again, the thing depends on where you want to bring this scout. If you want to bring this scout down, then I think what you do is fine. But if you want to bring it, you know, to the left or like directly, I mean, if you want to bring it directly right, what you did is fine. But if you're going to bring it down, I think going on that hill with the warrior would have been better, because then you can just loop around. I also am I get baited all the time by leaving it on a hill. So like ending on a hill when realistically like the best thing I could have done was, you know, just keep pushing it forward. The other thing is, you know, where city states spawn dictate where runes can spawn. So I hate crossing in front of a city state most of the time because I know for those turns I'm not going to be able to find a rune. Now this next turn you'll be able to see one potentially with the warrior if you keep going to the right, but you know it's possible moving onto that hill would have shown you one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100% agree. There's got to be a ruin in this little like pod right here. There has to be. I'd be shocked if there isn't. Laggy. I guess I gained quite a bit of knowledge from this grassland tile. Yeah, okay, that was a good decision. Nice little Hue city. It's unfortunate this hill's a forest, but I guess if I chop it quick enough. And it's a 2-hammer tile. Actually, that makes up for the fact, so that's a good city spot, kind of. Yeah, I just want to get next to that. now. I feel like now that I know I'm being watched, I would never move this warrior over here. But I know when my brain goes
No,
off, I
I
definitely
want you
just
to
like,
play as
ah,
if
fuck it.
I want you to play as if like no one's watching you.
Okay.
But I want you to explain why you're doing things, but I don't want to impact your decision, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Masonry, that's nice. Let's start with this scout first. I don't need to buy that yet, per se. Doesn't really change anything. Okay, now I get to figure out what I'm gonna fucking do with this scout. I think I'm just gonna pop it here and then pop up on these hills. Because this guy, this coast is sharp, so he's gonna have to come in this way, and then he can kind of, yeah, okay, I like that. Which means this warrior realistically should go find the ruin that's definitely in here and probably not explore. I mean, that's like the farthest Lux that I would even remotely consider settling. So like anything over here is other people's land, and I don't need to like find them now. I feel like I'm gonna end up seeing more in that forest. Yeah, nice little city in here. Great spot right there. Okay, yeah, so now it's the turn 6 decision. This is not trad. Looks like, well, okay, there's potential city here, even though it kind of looks like it actually might be shit. It's not terrible. It's got like 3 grain resources, wine, fish. Not the best all thing, but an all thing. River City, maybe 2 along this river, possibly. Enough resources. Maybe we'll see what we see here. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here. 6, yeah, it's definitely Liberty. I don't think I'd ever go tradition here. And there's plenty of river cities. So like my whole like I like Piety, even though I probably suck at it. My whole logic between choosing like White Piety and Liberty is like if there's enough fresh water and there's a fuck ton of fresh water. Like there's only 1 city, maybe 2 that I'm planting off river / fresh water, and the rest I can plant them on fresh water while still having them be good cities. So I'm like, okay, I don't need to go White Piety here. Also, because it's
I have a
Yugoslavia.
question. I have a question. So,
Yeah.
because this is like not related to this game at all, but how often are you building gardens on Liberty cities that don't have guilds in them?
Uh-oh. Very often. I build them like right after university.
Interesting. Okay. No, I mean that was it. I was curious.
Yeah. I usually do that because I almost always go Craftsman on Liberty. I haven't quite figured out the whole like when not to go Craftsman, like there's some other pantheon that calls to you, and I usually just end up having the production. It's like a 3-turn build, so it's like, alright, might as well get the scientist out sooner. Okay, now we're just going straight calendar. Has to be a fucking ruin here. 2 turns. Okay, yeah. So this, yeah, for top left, city state. Okay, so I want to go like this way. He's just gonna clear that up. That's probably a horse. I should consider stealing from Morocco. Which means this warrior's probably just about done. Put him up on this hill. There's the ruin. Cool. And then he'll come clear the vision here and probably go check out Malika. Oh, wait. 1 turn. I have no way of knowing if there's another unit there. There very well could be. Okay, they both have silver. Nice Petra City over here, potentially. Wow, this land got worse. Fuck. This is a popper and this is not a good take. But also it's pretty far. That's another thing I struggle with. I never know if I should leave ruins for pop purposes or take them because like in an AI game, that's where I fuck up a lot. In AI, it's like you can just leave them because the units never come by. But like in a real game, you probably have to just take this ruin.
I'm not gonna comment. So
Okay.
I want to see. I want to see what you do.
I mean, I'm just gonna risk it because I'm a gambler, for good or for bad. Haha. Never
There,
fucking happens to me
there
in a
you go.
multiplayer game.
There
Ever.
you go.
Never happens to me in a multiplayer game.
Instantly justified.
Okay, now I want this out. I have a reason to work it. How many hammers was that on? 4. Okay, so there was no microwave that I could have done. Probably should have checked that, but whatever. What? Why is it not? There we go. Yeah, so he's going back to the city states. This guy's gonna sweep over. Okay, cool.
I think this is probably like the most perfect game to talk about, which is awesome. Like there's a lot you can talk about here, so it's cool.
Wow, all 3 of these city states have silver. Okay. Culture, happy, faith. I don't really want a multi-steal. I feel like I should focus on trying to like first move this if I was in a multiplayer game. I should get pottery for free when I was like 1 turn away from it. Fuck yeah. Love that.
You got a map.
Okay, cool. Oh, I got a map run. I'm retarded. You didn't see anything.
No, I didn't see anything. Sorry. My bad.
Okay, so that's America. Damn, this is a really nice Petro City. Okay, so on gems only works if I can give it a hill somehow. And I don't see a way. Well, let's buy the sheep. It'd be cheaper. Feels like a poor use of money, but I'm just gonna go hop up on these hills and see.
I think actually we can talk about how you played this so far, and then we can,
Okay.
because I don't think it's going to change much. But I think your scouting was really good. I think I would have definitely went on that hill south of the CS first, then looped around. But I mean, this is all preference thing, and honestly, I'm genuinely bad at scouting. If you want an example of that, you can watch my first finals game where I missed 4 fucking ruins and Amhost took them all. So. I mean, I think you did this perfectly fine. I think this is 100% Liberty, and the reason is because you have wine and it's all plains. You're not going to be growing because of your Lux or the land. So playing tradition on like just pure plains cap without a support of luxury is typically really hard, or something else to do that. You have a good amount of chops, which is nice. I think one thing you didn't mention, but maybe you were just instinctively thinking, is like Liberty's really good when it has a lot of gold, so you're gonna have a lot of gold with this start. And in terms of, we'll get to the settling in a bit, but in terms of like where, so Malacca, you said Malacca, like that's probably a horse. We actually would see if that horse tile was revealed, and that's why it grew there. We would see the extra yield. Like just on the ground, because 2 people would have animal husbandry at that point. But because 2 people don't have animal husbandry yet in the game, we don't see any horses in CS borders. So we don't know that's a horse, but it's possible. In terms of like other stealing spots, you have the city that's directly to your left, Taipei, but it's never going to grow to the Lux because it's on a hill, silver. That's desert.
Desert.
Yeah, so you're never going to grow there. The city state's never going to grow there. So I think
Also, America might want that too, so that could be contested. This one feels possibly free. I don't know.
So I think, let's talk about this. Like, if you had to take a screenshot of this right now, where are your, 6 to 8 cities that you're thinking of planting? And what's the
Uh,
priority on each one?
um,
So I agree. I think this is Liberty 100% of the time. And I don't think you knew you were doing this, but what you did was really smart. In Belgrade, you're working one food tile for the sake of working instead of working like perfect hammers, right? Like you could switch this so that you're working perfect hammers by unworking this bison or the deer and working the hill instead. Do you know what I mean? Like if you unwork
yeah.
so you get one more hammer for that. But what this is doing is it's actually giving you food so that you can, you know, work max hammers and potentially starve if it helps you finish a building for overflow purposes later on. So that's something I really value, and I think a lot of people don't care that much about, but I think it's really something really small that really, really can go a long way. Like the amount of times I've been in a situation where it's like I instantly started a settler after hitting 4 or 5 pop or whatever, and then I want to keep working my tiles. I'm one food off, but I'm one hammer away. So I'd starve and I wouldn't finish the building. This solves that problem. So I think, in terms of how you scouted this, in terms of your assessment of the land, like it was perfect. I think identifying that small divot, it's not guaranteed, but it's more likely that you're on the left side of the map, right? If you need a really fucked inland sea, which I mean I've seen before, don't get me wrong, but you'd need a really fucked inland sea for that not to be on the left side of the map. So
So I just realized
yeah,
this, like, sorry, I didn't mean to interject,
no, no,
but
no,
I
no.
just realized, like, at turn 6, if I had realized that this capital actually had 6 granaries, you could maybe make a case for a tradition in the sense that you go, like, Petra City, Hue, and, like, one city over here. Although I just don't think it would be that good because this city looks like shit for tradition. This city, like, these two have potential, but this one, I don't know, maybe it builds you Machu.
I
I
mean
don't know, I feel like there's a case for tradition, but I just locked in so early of, like, I just think this is a Liberty start.
So
But
this is actually like this bottom right city and the bottom left city are like definitely tradition cities. Like that's a 4 luck city on trad,
yeah,
on the right side, and then this is a 2 luck
here.
city for trad, and it's still a 2 luck city for lib too on the left side, um, because you can
You
buy
could buy the silver
you can buy
too,
the
yeah.
silver. The problem is you have a lot of good shit to your north and to your left, and they can easily be split up, and you're gonna have happiness problems either because you have a lot of extra resources, right? You have like tea, silver, jade, wine. You have double tobacco, which kind of sucks, and you also have gems. So in terms of like sustaining happiness problems, like you're gonna be completely fine. Now, the thing that sold me that it's not tradition is what tiles am I going to be working? You're right that you have 6 granary resources for sure, but you're not really going to be working all those in the cap because if you do that, you're just going to be completely fucking your other cities, unless it's lib where you want to be stretched wide. The other thing is there's not a lot of freshwater farms in this cap. You're on a river, yeah, but you only have 3. To me, that's not enough to support a tradition cap most of the time, but it's plenty to support lib. The other thing is, like I said this before, but wine isn't really something that you work. Like if this was cocoa or coconut, or maybe like whatever, like I could potentially see an argument to go tradition here, but because it's wine, I don't think it is ever tradition because the cap's so weak. Now, let's say you had a better river system, higher like maybe like a couple more wheat tiles or whatever instead of like the sheep in your cap. I think you could argue this is tradition 100%. If you had a really good pantheon to support the food or whatever, you know what I mean? Like if you have something to supplement the fact that you're on plains, I think actually in one of my guides, in one of my tradition guides, I was on plains, but I had a sun god regional. So because I had the sun god regional, it supports the fact that I'm on plains. But you need something to give you that extra oomph to actually play trad and not have a terrible game for your capital. Now, like I said, your expands are definitely tradition expands. But when you have definite tradition expands, that means you have really good multiple city lib spots too. So that's kind of like the interesting dichotomy between liberty and tradition is that you almost need the same amount of space, but it oftentimes revolves around how good your capital is to support the game. Because Tradition can use the same amount of space as a 7 City Liberty game, but they'll just settle more greedy, and the cities will be much bigger. So it's just, it's kind of interesting in that way. But okay, let's pick it off from turn 10. I think, again, I would have played this probably the exact same way. I would have came to the exact same conclusions. My conclusions would have just been much earlier on, but that's totally fine.
Yeah, very slow. I feel like I lose so many fucking turns, not of production, but like in every game. I don't think I've played a single game where I haven't lost a turn to like either forgetting to text something or like produce something. I don't do it a lot in a game, but I do it every fucking game because I'm just so slow to be like, because I'm not confident in myself. Because I'm just like, fuck, what should I do? Like, but
Yeah, no, I mean, and this is something you get just from reps and like, I mean, the thing is when a lot of what like Civ players do is like completely self-taught, so you're just kind of like, okay, like this is working, this is not working, like let me try this. So someone told me to try this, like let me try that. Like, so I think for what you're doing, like I think this is 100% really good. But yeah, okay, let's pick it up from here. Sorry.
okay. Oh, also, I was gonna say briefly, the reason I do this, I learned from you like the whole like concept of having a little bit of extra food, but the reason I do this is I subscribe to the theory of like max yields, and it feels like 90% of the time if you're just working the tiles that are giving you the most in terms of food and hammers, that in my experience that's always just worked out the best for me. So that's why I do that. I don't know if that's correct, but like that was just my concept.
No, no, and that theory in general is like fine. I think you'll definitely feel it occasionally when you're like one hammer off finishing a building or something. You're like, why the fuck did I work this food tile? Or why didn't I work just the flat hill? So it depends. It depends what your plan is here. If you wanted to do like 2 scouts out of this, or if you want to do 2 workers, maybe you just work full hammers because maybe it comes out a turn faster. Like who knows? Post chop, but it's completely up to you. So
All right, city spots and priority.
yeah, let's go from there.
Um, all right. Well, knowing America is like really fucking helpful because it makes this city super contested. I think ideally I probably would have wanted to place it on the Jade because that's like crazy defensible. It's on a hill. It's a nice ring of hills in front of it. It's in his face as fuck, but it's not like, I mean, you can defend that pretty easily. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I'm still learning like what is actually good defensible. And if I set it back here, he's never fucking touching it. So that would be way safer. But also I can't. So like it's either here or probably right there because then it gives it a first ring chop. We just buy the Jade and everybody's happy. Still has fresh water. Still reach all the desert tiles. Yeah, actually, honestly, this is greedy. This is like I could leave like because of where my scout is. I feel like I could probably leave this here and just kind of keep tabs on him. And if I can get this off, I think I'd rather have it on the Jade. But like safer and more realistic is probably there.
I think
So
you are a fucking madman if you put that on Jade. And you are rightfully ear ward if you put that on Jade. I think it's defensive, but they're going to fucking kill you. Or they're going to try. I think that spot's amazing, yeah. And if you could put it one left, obviously you can't, but if you could put it one left, I think it's one left. So you can buy both Luxes.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And also just like how do you attack this ever? Like
That's
this
probably,
is
like, honest, that's probably one of the most defensive cities I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's nuts. Okay, so then I would probably, I mean, even though I want this one more likely for like, also the one thing is I don't have horses yet, so I don't know which city's gonna, I mean, this is effectively a horse with a gold, but it has like 2 chops, 3 maybe, 4. I feel like this would be my pyramid city. So like my inclination would be to plant this one first, but like this, I need to make sure that he does not get this because he could easily plop the city down right here. So I feel like I'm gonna use my scout to keep tabs on him, potentially war deck him and like try and Zock him, especially because it's fucking America. So I feel like this is my first city. This is my second city. Probably going on gems and potentially buying the sheep for hammer overflow. And then I think I think I like this spot. It'll grow to all these flatland tiles that it needs to. It's got 3 hills in the first string, all thing. I mean, like I said earlier, it's not good, but it's something. This city kind of has to go on the tobacco. Yeah. if you go on the hill, it's just I mean, we can't borrow tiles from the capital, so it's just gonna be shit. And then also gold and on a lux. And like that's not the one we're working for Faith. We're working this one probably. And I can share it between these. No, not that city, but this city can work it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 on the T, 5 on the tobacco, and it's probably this would be like the last settle, because it's farther away, but it's still a good city. And also this one still gets the wine too, and has like first string chops. Yeah, no, I like that spot. 2 hills on a river. This city, I think once I see more, I'll understand exactly where to put it, but it's looking like great. Maybe on this hill actually. I lied. It needs growth though. And actually, yeah, wait, holy shit, that's like 3 first string chops. Yeah, no, it's right there. Okay. Warrior is going. The scout's gonna clear all this, so you're literally just going straight back to this city state. No questions what to do with the scout. Oh, there's no city state. That's what it's doing. It's so much harder to see on this laptop. My PC gives me way better colors. I can't see shit. That's something maybe not worth checking out. Wow, this city's turning out to be pretty sweet. City state for gold. Hills everywhere.
I was so lucky.
Oh. Okay. Okay, well actually with that there, that's pretty greedy. This is probably somebody else's. Every single one of those city states on a hill too. It's literally just hill mania in my area. It's usually built a granary. Yeah, that's a river of silver, so it should grow to that relatively quickly. So if that's not its horse, then it's like probably here somewhere. Excuse me. I think I need this to be a gold rune, no? Or wait, is it turn 13? Culture rune, please. Or that. Holy shit. Another week. Probably might even want to plant it there so maybe we can steal that. The temptation. Yeah, let's see if you've got one. No. But you're also like closer in ways you steal from. I don't think I can realistically take this worker without pissing off an American player. But also, so I mean, yeah, no. It's tricky to decide. I want, is this a double worker start? That's another thing I'm bad at is determining whether or not it's a double worker start. I feel like, I mean, there's kind of a lot of chops. But also, like, I really just want to make sure this city gets down. I feel like that's just way more important. And if I desperately wanted to, I could build a second worker after that. Wait, what? Oh, it's because the growth.
I think this is always double worker, and you talk to the America player.
Interesting. Okay. What's the number of chops, generally speaking, that you're like, yeah, I should go
It's
double
not.
worker?
It's not that. The question is it a one worker game rather than is it a 2? I think. Kuba, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I kind of started this where my default has always been 2 workers. Regardless what policy tree I'm in, I always pretty much have been doing 2 workers. I think the default for a while was 1 worker by a lot of people, but
It was
I
one
don't
worker
know.
when we were shrining, right? And Hawks has always been kind of a one worker person because Hawks really believes in early settlers.
mhm.
I don't know who started the 2 worker, but I've been recently switching from one worker to 2 worker more, and
Yeah.
I like it.
So I'm just gonna take credit. I'm kidding. I don't know who did it, but I think in general, 2 workers is like the default, especially on lib, because the way I see it is if you settle too fast on lib, you're going to have what happened to Ashwin in his last game, where you find yourself, oversettling your happiness, and you're constantly like one happiness behind where you should be, one lux behind. When you do 2 workers, you never have that problem. In fact, you're always like I feel like whenever you're doing it, your tempo feels great. The other reason, and this is the more important one for this game, is that you have no fucking hills. So you literally need to chop.
Also, with like having a like double worker, does that kind of help towards the concept of like trying to
Yes.
natural before you?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
100%.
Because I feel like I never natural, and it's just like impossible. Even when I settle on luxes, and I mean I'm gonna have 3 here, but like that's a duplicate, so.
No, I
realistically,
mean,
only
I
2
think
people.
this if we're giving ourselves luxes via
IGE.
via IGE, like we should 100% be naturally on this start, in my opinion. The other thing I want to touch on here is, where is this worker going? Don't click. I want to get your idea. Like where are you putting this worker first?
If I was going 1, I think I would have probably gotten here, so it goes chop, chop, chop. But knowing that I'm gonna have 2, I think with border growth the way it is, actually, I feel like it makes more sense to go here because it's gonna chop this one out, and this one goes to this hill, and then they're both on a hill. Yeah, because no, this one has to go here because otherwise it's 2 turns to that hill, and if he's already there, then he can just. So yeah, that's my logic.
Bingo.
Go first.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. But I agree with your first idea too. Go 1 up here. That the worker might be where you said it was.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, it's not. So this feels suicidal. This feels like I'm already gonna be pissing the American player off by taking.
That's not.
this
You're
one.
never gonna piss someone off by settling min distance unless they're brain dead. Okay, like that city is as far towards America as you're going. This is just general multiplayer stuff, but in general, if you can't put a min distance city between you both where it's fair for each of you, the map's completely fucked, and you should probably reload, or you should probably go new, or your min distance isn't like fair. I remember like you were playing Aztecs one game or whatever, and that guy.
Don't bring that up. Don't bring that up.
Okay, I won't. That was
No, it's- Actually, no. I do. I say that sarcasm. I do actually want to hear what you had to say about that. I just have shame for
like
stupidity.
the way you solve that situation is you talk to that person first.
That's what I did. He just never responded.
And that's fine. But the way you punish it is you settle high tempo cities, and that's not what you did. If that makes sense. The other thing I want to point out is one thing that you could argue that going to the other deer was better for is if you only want to chop with 1 worker and you want to improve plantations with the other. So the priority, I mean, this should be obvious, but the priority of this game is improving this fucking tobacco tile as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So in the best possible world, you finish a chop, the worker pops out, and that worker instantly goes to the tobacco tile to start improving it because it's a 1 turn improve. Alternatively, you could go onto the other deer, chop that deer, and do that thing. But it's pure preference at this point. It's how much you value this early chop versus how much you value, settling happy and getting a Pantheon earlier. Again, there's no right answer. I think, me personally, I've been kind of like experimenting more with like chopping less. So I probably wouldn't prioritize the triple chop as much as doing a double chop, but improving the plantation. So we'll get to what Pantheon choice you want, but I think there's a pretty obvious Pantheon choice here.
I'm leaning craftsman like heavily.
Okay. I mean, we'll talk about it when
what
we
you're
get there,
thinking,
but
too?
we'll talk about it
Okay.
when we get there.
I
But
guess the other option is like Rite of Spring. But yeah. Okay. Oh right, we need to address this. Is this ever a steal that I should be considering? Is
no.
that just like
No,
yeah,
never.
no.
Absolutely not. One, you want a multi-steal, right? Like the life and blood of a good game is fast cities, lots of luxuries, and multi-stealing workers. if you multi-steal this worker, let's think about how many turns it's going to take for it to get to a place where it's working. Right? Not like you said it yourself. This is literally hill fucking central. There are so many goddamn hills here. It would take at minimum 7 to 8 turns for that worker to start improving, even the closest city. Right? Because it's going to, let's say you steal it right now. It's going to move onto forest, cross the river, cross another river. We're 3 turns in. Move up 1, onto the hill, onto the next hill, and then it starts improving. So that's 7 turns. Right? It's better, and then now you have to do that every single time because we don't want to declare more than once. The other thing we can think about is Mohenjo for a Liberty game, similarly to Malacca, but obviously this is less of a point. It's Mercantile, and Mercantile is probably one of the best city-states you could hope for a really high-tempo Liberty game. I mean, you could argue that Maritime is better because the food is good, but oftentimes I put a lot of value into naturaling a GA. So Mercantile pretty much always guarantees that. Additionally, if you really want to work food, just work your farms and not your hills. So, of course, like it's subjective on land, but in general, my lean is always like, I'd rather steal from the fucking religious city-state if possible. Like that's why when you're choosing between Malacca and Taipei, like I instinctively want to steal from Taipei more because it's a religious one, but not only that, it's hard for me to explain why, but I feel like it leads into the cities a lot easier than the northern one.
It's
Addition,
Yeah, no, it does. Especially if this is my first city.
yeah.
And, like,
Additionally,
I'm building a worker here, but-
additionally, like we have, like if you go from Malacca, like it has to go like down, and that it's gonna cross a lot more shit. But
Right.
I think I forget what the point I was gonna make, but whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. I think this is totally fine. I just never steal from that seller because like this is how you like create conflict between people, and the whole beginning of your early game, right? Like eventually you'll kind of like adopt this mindset once you like start winning a lot of games and stuff. But like I go into games knowing that I'm probably gonna be winning on sim and having the best just sim game. So the last thing I want is some of my fucking dumbass neighbor to come at me for no fucking reason and completely ruin it. When I know like I can just be completely in the driver's seat for the entire game if I just let everything stay as it should be, right? It's like all else equal, I'm probably going to be ahead in sim. And I think that's a good mentality to have because not only does it not upset people, but it's kind of like the reputation thing that I did that whole video on where it's like, if you kind of set yourself up to be like this, there's people in the group that I'm sure you fucking played with that do this shit and no one wants to play with them. And when they are near a city state that, you know, it's kind of theirs, but it's kind of yours, you are 100% taking it because fuck them. But if you're playing with someone that's like super nice, like we talked about this last night, but if you're playing with Tempo, right? Tempo's like the nicest guy in the world. Like, of course, like if it's his city state that he's stealing from, like of course, like you'll take the hit, like you'll go somewhere else because you know he's just a nice person to play with. Like, so having this mentality like pays dividends in future games too. But yeah, Kuba, I think you were saying something. Did you want to add to that or no?
I was just talking about the worker stuff. Like the worker from Taipei is just closer to your cities than the worker from Malacca. Like the worker from Malacca is about 3 turns. The worker from Taipei is 2.
Yep.
And that matters.
But like okay, so let's look at this other one. If there's no worker, we're taking Malacca.
Yeah, and Monaco just had theirs probably stolen. I think that. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like now we take from Taipei, right? Even though it's a turn.
100%.
It's improving a farm right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Is it worth it to wait to like let it finish the farm so we can pillage it for the gold? Considering we didn't hit a gold rune.
Nope.
Okay.
And honestly, the one thing I forgot. If I have to choose between 2 city-states that are very similar, I always want to steal with my scout. Because the warrior, this is obvious, but it's something that I think more people should think about when they're choosing this stuff. The warrior is way more useful for practical purpose of defending your city from barbarians than the scout is, obviously. But you don't want to have a situation where your warrior's in fucking Narnia just like fucking off when it should be defending your city, and you're left there like with your dick in your hands with your scout just like aimlessly fortifying, being like, I hope this survives or my game's fucked, right? Like everyone's been in that spot so many times, but the best way to avoid that is don't steal workers with your warrior if you don't have to, because then you're not in because the problem is, unless you're like when you multi-steal workers, right? You have to camp that spot. You have to be watching it at all times, because as soon as the worker's there, and then it can start seeing you, you're fucked, right? So you have to kind of be watching it the entire time. So losing that kind of spot with your warriors much more taxing than your scout, because your scout can kind of maneuver a lot easier and whatnot. So anyway.
So in a situation where Taipei doesn't have this worker and it does like some stupid double work,
I would 100% steal from Malacca, because
and then you just run the scout over, right? Like you just kind of have them trade places eventually, because this.
Yeah, I mean, like you're lucky that you have this archer here, right? Like the archer can then start stealing. Yes, for sure. But there are games when they're in two complete opposite sides, right? And you have to choose. Just you should always kind of lean to the one. But of course, like sometimes, like this one's not building a worker. Like I waited a turn to like see if it would pump one out. Like okay, like I can't slow down my tile improvements, especially on lib, right? Because being happy is super important, because we're trying to natural here, right? So with that in mind, like you have to steal with your warrior sometimes, but if you could always steal from your scout, you would. So that's kind of the thought process here. So yeah, like stealing this worker is going to be one turn slower than Malacca, but they're going to get there at the same time, right? Because we'll take this worker and we'll move it right to that, right to the tobacco tile. Or actually, I guess the wine tile would be better, because this worker can go to the tobacco. Or you could bring the new worker and put it on the deer and then improve the tobacco. It's completely up to you what you want to do.
Okay, and then so I guess with this warrior, he's just coming back now, and because we got a barb camp here, and these are the two first stages we want to put down, so we need to get him kind of. I mean, it's unlikely.
So do you remember when you noticed that salt, but right before you noticed the salt tile to your right, I said you're so lucky. Do you know why I said that?
No, I was wondering about that actually.
Because you hadn't discovered the salt yet. So the reason I said that is because barbs are creatures of habit. When they see something, they will always focus that thing. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So you saw that barb head towards Baku, which means it will forever head towards Baku.
It was here though, right?
No. There was a barb that spawned to your left, and it was walking towards Baku, which means it's very likely, this isn't 100% thing, but it's more likely than not going to keep spawning from Baku or into Baku. So that's why I said you're really lucky.
Barb problems this game.
What?
Unless I'm not gonna have barb problems this game unless another encampment spawns in over here.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why
realistically, maybe the warrior should come here to kind of keep.
Exactly.
Anything.
Yep. That's what I was about to say.
This is shit that I would never considered before.
So one thing I'll eventually do a video on, but because it's definitely an advanced concept, is like understanding like where potential camps could spawn and putting yourself in a best position to defend against that. Okay, that salt is ours. Oh my god.
Nice.
Imagine that Axum start. What the fuck?
Shit.
Double stone with that.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Holy.
salt? Like what? Come on, that's not
fair.
Double, like what the shit is this?
Wow.
It's a good thing we don't let them settle cities.
Yeah, shit would have so much better of a game than you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Take the shit. Also, in terms of like the multi-stealing spot, I think it's got to be this hill, right? Because it can see from this hill, and then I mean I could go to this desert, but like this is the only tile that these two tiles are the tiles that it's likely to grow to. So like if we go here, it will never grow to a tile that can see this tile, and we just okay.
Absolutely.
Just wanted to make sure that's right.
I mean, ideally, the worker could potentially head towards that sheep tile, in which case the flatland would be better. But you'll see that,
And I can of course.
and then you can kind of like adjust accordingly. So
Go to the silver.
it will never go to the silver.
No, never.
Unless
This is
it goes
not
to the-
non-river desert Lux. and it's got 2 grassland tiles. 100% it has to like.
Oh, also I
It
forgot to mention,
prioritizes-
if it's over a river, it's less likely to grow there. Just
Oh,
FYI.
over a river, really? So like in this case,
It's unlikely to grow to that silver. That's why it's grown to this outward tile and the other outward tile before the silver. So if it's over a river, it's less likely, but it likely will prioritize luxes and strategics. It always prioritizes strategics. Like that's why like I think one of my like tech videos I did, I mentioned if you tech animal too early, you could really be fucking your game because you're not allowing the city to grow to the lux tiles, and instead it's going to keep growing to these horses. This isn't bad, but you need the luxes more than you need the horses right now. So sometimes delaying animal can be very, very strong. In this case, we already have almost all of our luxes, and we're likely to grow to this wine before we even get animal. So queuing up animal next is kind of a no-brainer. But
and also I just noticed I got masonry for free, which is nice because I don't have to like as lib I feel like that's always good, no? Or doesn't matter kind of deal. Did I lose you guys?
no, I'm here.
Oh, okay. You guys were awkwardly quiet. Okay.
No, I was just letting you. I agree with your point, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's check real quick and see. Actually, no, we're not seller producing it. Yeah, it looks like it's actually good to know that he's there. He's probably not settling for that, so I feel like I can probably greed the city here. Also, this city's kind of insane. Like,
Yes.
this river system, and if I could someday. The problem is that fucking goddamn desert hill just in the middle of fucking nowhere. Although that's a river tile. Yeah, maybe I can buy that someday. I think it's probably worth settling here as opposed to here, even though the chops are nicer. Oh, actually, just realized can't settle there because I'm settling on T, so it has to go there.
I was waiting until you figured that out.
Oh, yeah. So we're a little slow here.
No, you're good. No, don't worry.
Okay. I mean, this guy should probably come back, but again, I mean, this is the only place a barb camp can spawn, so I'm gonna do like a little bit of checking out. Okay, now I don't want to go that way. Okay, so this barb camp's gonna go fuck Monaco up a ton of times. I'm curious to see if there's another city spot over here somehow, although I think it's just coast. Okay. That's cool, buddy.
Shoot it.
Oh shit, I forgot. Fuck, I was so like tunnel vision over here. I just completely forgot to shoot that shit. Hang on, can I do like a
No, just it doesn't matter.
I
It doesn't
yeah.
matter. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
Why do you want to shoot the unit there?
You
free
get favor.
XP and favor, yeah. Not that it mattered. I mean, it's like, I mean, there's no way it puts a quest up. That
I mean,
favor
it-
goes
it-
away. It's mostly the XP that is like worth it there. I feel like I don't know. Any other way is like.
I would
I'd-
argue it's better not to shoot it.
I mean, you could totally argue that, and that'd be fine. So this is complete preference here. You either chop or you improve this this tobacco.
I think I would improve the tobacco in this case because it's a faith, and I mean, wait,
I don't think there's a right answer, by the way. I don't think there's a right answer.
that's 11, and that's 11. Okay. Okay, so now I think like, I mean, yeah, sure, if I chop this, I get an extra hammer for settlers, but like this gets me craftsman quicker or whatever pantheon that does. If it's craftsman, then this is way more worth it because that's just, and like I'm working this for settler production currently, so like.
I mean, I
don't know.
think you either buy a sheep here or you chop that because you got this worker steel. If you didn't get this worker steel, because right, this tobacco is gonna come up 2 turns later, which is pretty marginal. But the chop to speed up the settler is really nice, and then having the hill is really good. So either you work the sheep and improve the tobacco, or do the chop. So it's up to you.
I'm tentative to buy the sheep just because I know I have to buy this jade and potentially the sheep as well, so the city has something to overflow into.
I would agree.
I think those are the only 2 tiles I need to buy, too.
I agree with
And
that.
I just didn't get it. If I had a gold rune, then yeah, definitely I buy the sheep, so that I can have better settler production. But
I think you should chop, but it's fine.
Ah.
Again, it's complete preference. I don't think there's like a straight right answer. but I do think this new worker now should go and chop.
This one?
Yeah. You're gonna
Sure, I
lose
think-
some momentum from your workers, but I think in general, you need to kind of get the production tile up.
There's potentially another city over here on this river. Because nobody's settling this. I need to see a Lux for it to be worth it. There's the Lux. You know, these CS are gonna put a hit on this. So I feel like this archer, I mean, Swear's in a good spot. Scout's multi-stealing. Might as well get some XP here and start prepping to like. So that's another thing that I don't like understand mechanic wise. If I just like continue to shit on this barb camp and it stops harassing them, do they not put a hit on it, or is it just proximity based?
It's both.
Okay, so I want to like rough it up a little bit, but like leave the unit there, kind of deal.
I would not worry about it and just keep scouting or whatever, and because you know it's going to keep spawning into that city.
Okay. I want to be on this hill. But, okay, I mean it doesn't matter. It's just gonna.
The other thing is, if you weren't so lucky with Baku attracting that camp, I would say you desperately need to put the warrior, around there, and then this other scout would kind of want to. You want to like you can start leaving your scouts from your mainland area once you put your cities down, because those are kind of like natural barriers, right? But again, with the Baku thing, right? This, like I said, like we saw the warrior go towards Baku, and now Baku looks like it's under attack, right? That's what the CS was showing. So, you know what I mean? See, like the fire under Baku. Yeah.
Right. So Baku's under attack here. Monaco was under attack from that. How is that hand axe damaged?
Could be a CS over there or something, but it's probably Brunei.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
I want to go meet it, but I mean, so the real question is like, how much do I harass this?
I wouldn't at all.
Wouldn't at all. So then go meet the city state, or at least attempt to.
No, I think going to meet the city is a good way to get your fucking thing killed. Because all it takes is one unlucky spawn of a barb, and then it's trapped, and then it's dead.
Okay, yeah, I see. So if I had chopped here first, the settler comes out one turn sooner.
Yep.
I didn't consider that.
I think now it's kind of a lost cause to just improve the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the timing of the chop doesn't really. change
It's not.
anything,
It's
so-
definitely not as important. Yep.
Okay. Warrior. Baku's still getting dicked on, so I think I'd rather just kind of keep this entire area visible.
Okay, let's see our horses. What do we got?
You said, "Oh my god."
I said, let's see what we got. Oh my fucking god!
What? Wait, what?
What did I just say that from? What is really, really good that we now just saw?
Oh yeah, okay, I just saw this.
Yeah,
That's fucking awesome. We're gonna put it there anyway.
that is fucking crazy.
Kinda got gypped everywhere else though.
Yeah, there's like nothing.
Got super fucked everywhere else. Oh. Okay, so now there's another question. Since I'm already on this hill, is it worth it to just do this and then go to the wine?
It's a complete preference thing. It's the question for me that I would ask myself in this spot is, how easy am I going to natural if I don't improve this wine immediately? Right? That's most of the time the thought process I'm having, because again, I put a lot of value in naturaling a GA. So if I want a natural, how likely am I to do it unless I improve this wine instantly? And usually that's a question of how many on luck cities do you have?
I have 2. So realistically, and one of them actually, sorry, I'm saying 2 because this is a duplicate and it's not guaranteed that I can trade it out.
For these purposes and for your games in general, I would map a duplicate Lux as almost a guaranteed happiness in the early game because you can trade it for 2 gold before you get the other one improved. And people will always accept that deal because 2 gold in the early game per turn is crazy. And especially because we have wine, right, we're never going to have a gold problem. So I think improving the iron is actually correct here. That being said, again, it's a complete preference thing. I don't think there's there's a correct answer. So take that as you will.
My playstyle is that I would improve the iron, so I'm just going to do that.
All right, yeah, then do that.
Whether or not it's right or not.
And then you might want to...
So get rid of the, what?
Okay.
Get rid of the deer first. I guess that makes sense. It's a flatland deer. Okay, they're going to shift over. It's nice, though. These AI scouts, if the barb does come this way, will probably just tank it for me.
They're so kind.
They're so kind. I love watching the AI scouts just like amass. It's hilarious to me.
I love that people who play single player know the AI sucks, and yet they automate their workers or scouts. And I'm just like, oh, interesting.
Okay, so now he's chopping. That's fucking awesome. The only way we get trolled is if an AI scout decides to stop on that horse tail. At which point, that's when I use IG. I'm just like, okay, well, that's just fucking dumb. Yeah, chopping. Yeah. The city, ideally, the city builds pyramids for me. Because this one is, I don't want to slow it down by like, I want this city to build Petra. Question is how fast. Shift over here, make sure. Okay, it looks clear. Nice.
Are you planning on Liberty engineering the Petra or just like hard building it?
I think I'd have to engineer it, considering this bullshit.
I don't think you
Yeah,
even
I'd
get
have
it
to.
with
I
that.
don't think I do. It's still a good city regardless.
It's a great city regardless, but
The
obviously.
question is whether or not it should have gone first.
Because if you engineer it, then like you don't really need to worry about like building it up fast, right?
Well, the thing is, we wanted that city first for a number of reasons, not just because we wanted to contest Petra. We wanted that city there first, mostly for the America player.
Right, but like in terms of building pyramids, you're not there.
For sure, yes. I mean, you could still build pyramids there. It's only 1 chop, but it's pretty strong fucking city. I'm talking the Petra one because it's on horse. But again, it's complete preference. You have to think about like when you're planting that city, what are you going to be doing in terms of like what's it going to build? What tiles is it going to work, right? So like obviously a granary would go a long way in that for sure. But
city, I think I still plant the city first regardless because it's just faster. Like getting to this is 1, 2, 3.
it's actually the same amount of turns.
Is it? Wait, 1, 2 plants. 1, 2,
What?
3 plant.
No. What? 1, 2 plant.
1, 2. Oh, I didn't see that route.
So it's actually the same, but you have to plant the Petra first because of the America player.
Right. Yeah, that I feel like
This is unlucky.
What the hell?
It's fine.
When? I feel like I've never seen that, and I feel like that's some AI crap.
That's deity.
That is not fun. Okay, so 1. So the question is, does this worker come over to help this city and chop?
Absolutely. Yep. 100%.
Yep, right there. Wait, I can. Hang on, I have an idea. Oh wow, great, no damage. Want that?
I mean, yeah, it's a scout. I mean, here is an interesting topic. I would. The question is, do you work the tobacco in the city or do you work it in your cap? Because the difference is only one hammer in your capital, I'd work it probably. It depends actually. Does this city come out of turn? Does this seller come out of turn faster if you're not working tobacco? How far off are you? How far off are you?
Oh no, it's gonna be like by one hammer, isn't it? It is. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's by
So
one fucking hammer. Is that chop prior?
That's yep. It's
That's
all like
insane.
this is like all this stuff kind of compounding, right? Um, so in this case, it doesn't matter. But I would definitely grow into this in Zagreb. I'd grow into the tobacco tile.
Focus.
Yep. But we'll just have to switch that. Also, just a good thing to
Wow.
get in the habit of, but definitely buy the jade as soon as you sell the city, so that if an America player, I've seen players do some pretty egregious stuff with buying tiles. So if it's a buy you are 100% doing, just get it over with now. Also, you can kind of move that scout, the archer, just like around now. Like, it doesn't have to stand there anymore. And this should definitely be trying to steal from either the deer tile or the sheep tile. Yeah. And, you know, I want to stress, and this is something that I maybe didn't talk enough about in my series, but building pyramids in cap is totally fine. Like, in this cap specifically, with how, it's a pretty fast start. The cities come online very, very quickly. You'll probably have pyramids done by like 38 in your capital. Especially if you go in Zagreb, you go maybe worker into granary into caravan, and then caravan Belgrade. Like, that just, to me, it seems like kind of a really win-win scenario. You don't have to build it in these expands.
I think the only city. Well, I mean, this either of these two could have built. I feel like this one would be better though for it, right? Because it just has more.
It has more chops,
right?
but they're second ring chops. You're not going to own the tiles. It's not. It's going to be like 8 hammers instead of 13, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is quite significant. It's
Also, not to mention, in terms of just like build order and like stuff that I'm planning for, like I'm planning to contest Hue with this city, maybe Petra with this city, although I don't know. I guess that's part of it. Is like these cities have important things to do, so throwing pyramids in the mix early is like slows them down theoretically.
I mean, pyramids in the Huey city isn't really going to affect things. Definitely would 100% affect things for the Petra city. I don't think this is like that good of a pyramids expand thing. I was kind of thinking if you really wanted pyramids in the expand, you could do it in your top city, your northernmost city, and just chop those tundra tiles because they're both hills, right? Is that a hill deer or not?
Yeah,
I can't tell. Okay, yeah.
So
Like realistically, that's more hammers towards pyramids than the T. So it's completely up to you. I mean, especially because you could flick that iron tile in that one. So I'm not sold that on T is good for pyramids. I think it could work for sure, but I do think Zagreb needed to go down first, and Zagreb's not the best city for pyramids. So I would be inclined to do it in cap this game.
Yeah, same. Also,
I mean,
is this
there
eighth
was-
city worth settling?
I think it's pretty far away. I think it could work, but it's not anything
Two
special.
first ring chops and 2 resources, and that's about it.
But a good river system. Kuba, what are you saying?
Yeah, there was a way to chop out the pyramids in the T city, and that would be to swap the chop from Zagreb into the T city, swap the deer chop in the cap into the T city, and then you get two or three second ring chops that are not in your borders for 8. The third ring chops in your borders for I think 10. Is that?
Yeah, that's true. You could swap these two.
And the
That's
first
fucking
ring
crazy.
chop, and that's like 50 hammers, right, towards pyramids. That's kind of fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's efficient because it's still less hammers than first ring chopping. So I know it's something that could be considered.
And Kuba, that's with this city going down first.
I thought yes, but I don't know. Like this is sort of a player situation where if America is like a aggressive player or a player that does egregious stuff sometimes, then I'm worried about putting Zagreb down first.
Well, if you're playing with my luck, you always get spawned next to the egregious. I literally every time I play with Arvius, I'm his fucking neighbor.
Oh, I
That's
love
my luck.
neighboring Arvius because I can kill him.
You get
Well, you have a
stream
lot more
cred.
confidence and
You
skill
get
to do
stream cred
that.
for that. No, you have. Okay, realistically, Arvis is good at the game. Okay, especially at war, and he will shit on new players. I highly recommend to new players they don't play with Arvius. It's just not going to be good for your ego, and it'll really help his, which is not good for this community. Lol. But I do think like staying away from those kind of lobbies is something that new players should do because it really doesn't benefit you. Every game he plays is going to turn into a slugfest where he's just going to kill the first player he sees usually, unless it's a really competitive lobby where he's taking it seriously and then he'll play like safe and practical and whatever. But in these streamer games, like he's whatever. Like every time I've played with Arvius, at least recently, he kills some scrubs and then he's getting out simmed by like turn 100 or like way earlier than that in most cases. But just shoot it. It's gonna slam your city and it just doesn't even matter. And then
That's a good thing. I'm gonna
yeah,
kill it, hopefully.
move this up. Yep.
So does the spear seeing it alert the city state in terms of like where it sends the worker?
Yes.
Okay,
So you
okay, so I
need to send
go
this over
here.
the hill. Yep.
Yeah. I think I'm just like fine with these guys where they are.
Last turn, when you
Yes.
moved the scout, was it important to have moved it outside of range of the spearman's vision?
That's something I hadn't considered.
What'd you
I
say?
assume
Sorry.
not because I think the worker's being produced right now, so it doesn't affect its like build order.
Well, is it? I don't know if like the spearman would like chase the scout if it saw it. That was what
I
I
don't
was
think it
worried
would.
about. Okay.
It will be slightly devastated if it decides to go on the Oasis tile.
You could set it to food focus if it does that. If for this turn.
And this needs to go to 1.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, we literally got 2, 3 horses.
Also,
But I'm
this
not even
horse
sure
in your
I'm
cap is fantastic for your gem city.
good for. Oh yeah, true. I was gonna say it's good for Zagreb too, but yeah, no. That is actually really good. Now I don't have to buy the sheet. Yeah. Okay. So this. Yeah. Pain. A little extra fish never hurt, too. I get the feeling that there's another one here. I feel like I'm gonna end up with 2, and it's like first and second ring. This one's a little farther away, but kind of nice. Yep, keep slamming, buddy.
Yep, knew that would happen. And then I'd put this on the hill to the south left. South. Hill 1 down left.
Check.
Just to
For-
check and then move it onto the iron because we can steal from iron.
Oh. Alright, these coastals are becoming kind of
Kind of
ever so
cracked.
slightly cracked. I know, I 100% bet there's a fish right here. I'm calling it that tile. Okay. This is a fun tech decision. Bronze working is completely useless to us currently. I feel like this is either sailing or we just start going towards the wheel. Right? Or is this one of those like 5-head like shit where you start to look at the tech costs and try to make
No,
it so that you're like,
absolutely
down
not.
by
I
5
would
out
not
there.
worry about that until post-industrial stuff. We have all of our Lux tech, so I would just head towards wheel. You could also go sailing, but sailing's not that important right now. So your warrior is kind of standing there doing nothing. I would be either taking that spot with like standing over by the camp, maybe going to clear it, assuming we're going to be planting a city on tobacco. Like you want to clear this camp when that tobacco city comes down because the camp can't respawn over there anymore. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it depends on the order we want to settle this stuff. Like maybe you don't go clear the camp. Maybe you go like scout Axum's land, right? Like you've kind of gotten enough space for yourself where Zagreb's gonna go down. T City's gonna go down. You know, we can escort with a warrior now. We don't have to worry about anything spawning behind us. We're kind of in a good
Oh
spot.
fuck!
Uh,
We're not gonna talk about what just happened. And we're gonna watch it live though.
oh, here's a.
Here's a learner moment. I
Oh,
forgot.
you can rework your tile so that Zagreb's working the tobacco, and then Belgrade can work max hammers.
Well, we missed the forgetting
We
to
might, yeah,
reproduction focus.
we,
Yeah, we're not gonna. And that's yeah. That's just me being.
I do that all the time. Ryan does that all the time. Everyone
It's
does that all
totally
the time.
fine. It's totally fine.
Don't worry.
You
about
have
it.
an idea, and then you forget what the fucking idea was, where the point of it was for like, yeah, happens all the time. Leave that
Alex
there.
going over-
Leave that there, because it's what it'll instinctively probably go to the fucking Marsh tile because it's an idiot, and then you could just slam it and kill it. Also, here, I would work the tobacco in my expand rather than my cap. As soon as I can, I want to be working just the hill.
Oh, I was looking for some other tile. I don't know what I was looking for.
We want to always be working that stuff. We're gonna talk about Pantheon soon. You know, I'm excited for this discussion. I'm curious what Kuba would pick here, but
Oh, that actually affects the worker timing too.
yeah, a hammer versus no hammer.
So this, yeah, I guess this guy can just kind of float this way a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Make sure you finish your worker movements.
Oh, also completely forgot to just like mind blank. I'm not gonna do that though. I'm just gonna.
What are you doing?
I'm doing the IGE thing.
Did you
'Cause I hate
finish
doing
improving
it.
stuff?
I did this wine and I did not look for a trade. Not even didn't even.
You
consider
don't
it.
have 2 wines up.
I know. I'm just prepping it
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because this one's done next turn.
Honestly, I think a good habit to get in is either you look for trades or you just don't all game when you're playing with AI. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. What? Okay.
All right, this is fine. Just move the worker up 1.
I'm gonna shoot this archer because no, he wants slam bite. Wait, no, does the city state go first? The barb.
The barb will shoot first.
Okay,
So,
perfect. So he'll kill it.
and then you can cover this with the warrior, and then you can like make a farm for a turn or something.
Because this is gonna.
Yeah,
I
that'll
would've, like,
settle.
really done-
Yeah, that'll settle.
So just make a farm. Yeah, that makes sense. And then it's going to that tree.
Give me 1 second. I have to take a call, but just keep playing. I'm gonna watch. All right, I'm back. Oh, CS moves actually. Huh, how about that?
Yeah, CS always go before barbs, I think.
I thought barb actions happened before CS and then.
No, barb actions definitely happen after the CS. Maybe barb spawning from camps happens before.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. And now slam that with that warrior. No. I would 100%. Improve the jade. Actually, no, because
Oh, the jade?
the jade, no, the worker from your city is coming out, so um, that new worker can go improve the jade, and then this worker can bounce to that hill. That's perfect, actually. Yeah. And there we are. It's beautiful.
It's working out exactly as we expected.
It's weird how this happens when you play well.
Yeah. Okay, wait, where is this guy going? Okay, this guy's going to this shop. Maybe I want to. No, I guess I want to get rid of that. What's he doing?
Let's do our other worker first.
This one. Wait, so he's chopping hill, no?
He's
Or,
chopping hill.
no, sorry,
Yeah, no, he's chopping hill because that new worker.
Oh, right, yeah, that guy comes out. All right, and then he's inefficient if he like takes 2 turns to come there. Okay. Okay. Pantheon. I feel like I'm craftsman. I mean, we have a fuck ton of hammers though. Like, I don't know. I'm so bad with pantheons, but I think in general in Liberty, I just default. If I don't know what to do, I just go craftsman because I know that that's good.
Yeah, that's good logic, but I
I feel
agree
like
with you.
there's
I think
also-
craftsman is absolutely wrong here.
Really? Okay. Religious settlements, I've tried, and every time I try it, I hate it. But I feel like it could actually be good on this land just because of how many fucking hammers we have. But also, that's probably not good. If my plan was to like engineer Petra, I would probably want to consider a faith pantheon via probably spirit animals, even though we got fucked on the horses, like a deer in every single city. Um, and 2 in several. Okay, so if not craftsmen and if not religious settlements, it's either a culture or faith from like deer and bison. Maybe it is religious settlements because we're in plains biome and we just have hammers galore.
Kuba, what would you take?
Messenger.
Okay, you're wrong. It's settlements. It's always settlements. It's always settlements.
You're wrong. You choose
I
between
I
religious
think we
settlements
have
and
the same
craftsmen based
idea,
on
right?
biome.
Just,
Yes. What'd you say, Kuba?
I think we have the same idea. I just want to click messenger and grow via hitting civil service early, and you want to grow via clicking settlements.
No, or
That's an
craftsman
idea.
to messenger to me is I want a crossbow, and if you want to kill America, I think that's fine. I think in this land, food is fairly light, but we have a fuck ton of hills. That's kind of been the whole theme. So I think it's always settlements. Settlements is probably my favorite pantheon. So
Also, the land's pretty defensible. This like line of hills just makes it difficult for him to come up over top, and we can just have rows of units waiting for him if he decides to.
yeah, I agree.
So, settlements because of plains biome, craftsmen on grassland biome.
Generally, it's a little deeper than that. I think the civ you're playing and what the civ wants to do plays into it, but we're playing pure vanilla civ, so luckily that's not at all a something we have to think about.
To be fair, Ryan, settlements was my second pick after.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, this is pretty obvious settlements, but I if I was a fan of Messenger, I would also say Messenger. But I think for the purposes of what we're doing here, I think for anyone who's like gonna watch this later, like,
Yeah. I mean,
don't pick
yeah.
Messenger. In terms of what do you want to do with this worker? Let's talk about that.
I mean, it's either I don't like chopping when I'm producing settlers because like I see those hammers as effectively going to waste because it's like we've got a multiplier on like the yields, and like these chops should be used for like pyramids when I eventually do my capital. So I don't want to chop any of this shit. I feel like
Let me ask a different question. Where's our next settler going?
Good question. I think okay, so I mean it's I either send it here or here. I think though that it would be more efficient to have this settler come up on this hill, move here, plant on tobacco, and this worker can potentially prep this chop or start like chop this and then yeah, I like worker chopping here and then chopping here and then it becomes this city's worker. This goes down on Onalux on gold. Just a good city to go down early. This one can kind of like do cap tiles and like I see like a nice little like to deer kind of deal. And these are like this is a tile that I can use in these two cities as for like hammer overflow later. Although, I mean, it's also one I want my cap to work. But yeah, I don't know. This worker doesn't have a like. It's too early to come over here because this settler is not like super quick to the spot. It's like cross the river here. I guess it plants, but I don't know. That's what I would do. I would have this worker come here and improve this. And then
Kubo,
by the time it's done improving and this settler comes out to go here, then it can follow it.
Kubo, what would you do? This is
Sorry, I
super
wasn't-
this is super important, by the way.
I wasn't watching.
Where's this
the
worker
question.
going? Where's your next city?
I just realized it could also go to this deer.
Yeah, Kuba, where are you moving this worker? Where's your next city? Can you scroll out, Mike?
My first instinct with moving the workers to the settler tiles, the deers especially.
Mhm.
And where's my next city? Probably on the tobacco. I don't know.
So I think if you're going tobacco, what you say makes complete sense, and you should do that. If you're settling north, the right play is to prep a chop on that deer tile, and then go improve the, like above you, not over there. If you're gonna you move this worker onto the deer, you prep a chop, and then you go improve the wine. So those are the two options. This is again, no right answer. There's pure preference. Whatever you prefer to do, like you should do. My gut instinct was originally on tobacco. I think then I was leaning into the wine, but then I'm like, I like cap tiles. Again,
I'm also
there's
thinking
no
of
right
using
answer.
this top for the capital, like, because I don't necessarily. I mean, I'm building like 2 workers here. That'll be at 5, and then
More
steel 6,
importantly,
pyramids is
yep.
8. So I'm not thinking. No, I feel like I'm not putting workers in any more of my cities. Question mark. Or starting with workers, I should say.
I think you could go one more.
Maybe one more.
One more is fine. I'd probably go one more here. And if you're only going one more, then I think tobacco is 100% correct, because I would love to start granary in that north city. That'd feel amazing. Like you chop out
Yeah.
the deer, like 5 turn of granary, like fuck, that'd be great. Like 3 granary tiles, like instantly. That's so good. So again, I want to stress there is no right answer to this. This is pure preference. I think if you ran the calcs to see what's more efficient, what's going to get you the most yield, so what's going to be better off in 10 turns, like I think it's going to be almost exactly the same. So I don't think there's a wrong answer. So let's do the tobacco thing. That was your idea. Let's do that. I think that's totally
so
good.
let's go into tobacco, chop. So then this guy is improving
Yep.
your house, or going to this chop for the city.
I think if you're asking me, or are you asking me? Or
Actually,
you,
wait, no. Sorry, this worker's coming here. Yeah, okay. Now I'm
there you
decided.
go.
This worker's
Yep.
going to the
You
city.
got there.
And so yeah, we got there.
When do
It's
you
like,
when do you grow to this horse, by the way?
in 2 turns, 1 turn. So
Perfect.
actually,
That's so good.
never mind. That's what we're doing.
No. It's
Wait,
always deer.
still deer?
I was asking for this this gem city, if we needed to buy the sheep or not, and because we're growing there, we don't. Does that make sense? Like, we don't have to buy the sheep right away. It's not a priority because we can grow into that we're growing into the horse tile, right?
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, so we are doing deer improvements in capital until. All right, what the fuck do I do with this guy? I just need to get him out of here. It just depends on which way I want to send him. Probably overthinking it. I mean, I want a city here.
Well,
Okay,
where's
then
our settler going?
This guy's going. Yep. There we go. Let's read the book one more.
You don't need to, and I don't want to say like you have to escort your settlers. I think if you escort every single one of your settlers, you're irrelevant. But in this case, I think it's like 0 opportunity cost to go to that city with the settlers, or with the scout, so, or archer, whatever. I can't speak. And this is the beauty. This is min distance, baby. These are improved fucking tiles. Like, look at this. Come on. How can you not love that?
I feel like I want to go monument in the city because there's a lot of fucking hills that I need to grow to eventually. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. It's like, does that actually give me more him? Does not.
So what you should do.
Yeah, the only way to grow in one turn is to do the lake.
So what you should do here, and this is a small thing, is you should give Belgrade the horse here, right?
Yeah,
And
then
then
give the deer.
Yep.
I was getting there. Okay, monument here. Let's see, this city, probably monument makes sense. There's also, we settled outside of a lot of hills. We need to get there eventually. There's also some really nice. This fucking coastal city is actually kind of cracked.
If you can get
Kind-
those hill tiles, that city is cracked. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, deer improvement, 4 turns. That should like work out so fucking perfectly. Might as well just heal and then we'll go check out the encampment. And then, okay, worker should be here. No, what?
Got distracted. I don't know. I actually don't know.
It was on this hill and just said nope. Okay. So I guess we're just gonna have to continue to wait for it to come back eventually.
Does that change what you're building in Skopje?
It certainly could. Probably should have checked with my scout first before I moved this worker. I mean, yeah, there's no guarantee that this worker's gonna come back. It could have just yeeted off to this deer tile because it discovered trapping or something. I don't know. It's so bizarre. It's not even like a barb camp over there. All right, I guess I have to go worker here then, because that worker would have been fantastic to have, but okay, I should make sure everybody. Okay, I need to sit up. I think I had already decided that I'm chopping this out, and being there sooner doesn't change the timing of the worker, so. I feel like with where our work is at, there actually probably could have been a decently solid case for making pyramids here, even with. Okay. I mean, okay, even if the worker came back on this, okay, it's 2 HP. It's trivial. Where the fuck did this worker go?
Wait. You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not check this city at all. Monument, 3 turns versus growth. Okay, so the growth clearly not worth it. 4 turns. I mean, 3 turns is better, right? Oh, also, this is no longer the best tile in the world to work.
There's something else you can do here.
What's there? I think that's the arrangement I want. No. Right? That's the best. This
Only yeah, I mean, you got there. It was take that tile back. The thing you want to do is you want to take this the horse tile off Belgrade, and you want to work the random hill in
Right.
in Sarajevo.
No, we're already on the hill now.
No, the other hill, the one you just chopped out. See what I mean? Like that hill that the worker's on.
Oh.
You can work that in cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way you can give the food tiles to the ones that are growing. There we go. Perfect.
It's normally never this complex. I
What?
don't normally set her like 3 min distance cities. I usually throw them farther out, so then I'm like, I never have to like micro so many tiles. It's also so much fucking harder on this laptop because everything's like, I feel like I'm just lagging. That's just excuses.
I think you're doing totally fine.
The real question is, when on earth are we gonna ever be able to buy this silver?
Well, fortunately we have gold luck, so we're gonna have a lot of money.
Sure. Okay, so that's safe. Before I go anywhere else, might as well. Timing on that is beautiful. Question is, I mean, yeah.
How far off are we from the settler? Finishing.
So an additional hammer.
Okay.
Maybe is affected. Wait, 22.
It's not. It's
45.
you'd have to have it this turn.
It would have been, right? Or no? Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. Research. Now I guess sailing is more relevant. I don't need anything else, do I? No, I feel like nice. This is gonna get this. Yeah, it's gonna go to the city, and now that worker comes out a turn sooner. The question is whether or not to come over. I mean, I feel like it makes sense to just hop over this hill. I mean, I could put a turn in on the bison. Actually, that's probably better. Put a turn on the bison, then come over here, and then that chop will affect. Actually, we should look and see. It's 33, it's 4. Yeah, so put a turn on the bison.
The question is, what's the worker gonna do that comes out of the city? That it's not about like what's better for micro. It's what's the Sarajevo worker gonna go do? Like Sarajevo worker pops out. What's it doing?
Either improving the wheat or the bison.
Okay.
So it just makes more sense to go chop this and get the monument done sooner. Or granary, I guess, in this case, might be better. It would make that wheat tile actually usable, although we have lake tile, so it would just make it a lake tile once improved. But I guess chopping is what I want to do. Unless there's a barb there, in which case. Yeah, I feel like chopping makes sense.
Perfect.
The problem is these sellers are going to be a little slower. I have one, and then I'm debating. Okay, yeah, no. If that city state steals the bison, then there's no reason to put a city over there. I guess I'm just gonna keep chilling here, cause there it is again. All right, better fucking come this. Try to God. So then, now knowing that's there, doesn't it make sense to be like, okay, I don't need this anymore, cause it is.
I think it's too much of a cost that you already put in 4 turns.
Really? Did I put 4 turns in it?
Yeah.
No, I put 2.
Oh, okay, whatever. 2 turns. I would still finish it. I would still finish it.
Really? Okay.
You're not gonna complain about having extra workers, but you will complain about why don't I have more.
Yeah, and I've done that all too often in recent history. Way too often. Okay, I think everything is good. Although I'm curious. No, not yet. Nice, city state's doing all my river tiles. Thanks. Oh, that's gonna be painful to slam.
Don't forget to spawn in a
God.
thingy.
Ah, definitely. So this is gonna be a monument first type of city, especially because we're potentially competing for these river tiles. Yes, that worker's coming over there. Right, there's gonna be like a. Okay, so this worker will like come in for the iron. This one will chop maybe, and then become the capital worker. We have another worker in 8 turns. I'm trying to figure out where all these workers should go. I know that I want one of these two to eventually come over here, so I guess these two are just gonna work in tandem. The question is whether or not I start, I guess, with the bison, yeah, because I'm not working this wheat tile, and I'm not doing that anytime soon. Even though it's gonna make this worker slightly less efficient, but
Not necessarily. You can always move that over and chop the marsh. Also, you can grow in Sarajevo. Nope. Nope, not that one.
really, you just keep. Oh, yep, yeah, I see it. I see it. Too much pressure.
No, dude. I'm just trying to help you, like, get adjusted to working these tiles, like, that are from your fucking cap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there is certainly an adjustment period once you start settling a lot of min-distant cities, but you're seeing the benefit of settling min-distant cities here. Like, this is why I was saying this is a perfect example. This is a perfect example land, because if you look at how your cities are structured, I can't I don't know how many turns ahead you are because you settled the way you did. Right? Like, imagine like settling a little further out or something. You haven't been able to work like half the tiles you have. You'd probably be negative GPT or something like that, right? It's all of these kinds of things that make settling min distance so good. So, just something to think about.
I start slamming this.
Yeah, why not? You, like I said, you can clear that camp once Libjuani is settled.
Right. These guys haven't put a hit on that yet. I'm just gonna let this heal, and then I'll figure out what I want to do with it. Okay. I guess it went to this hill and then realized it didn't improve the farm or something. No idea.
That's actually exactly what happened. I don't understand why the fuck it did that, but
yeah, it's weird. It didn't just like go there first and be like, oh, good. Okay, so now you're going with him. And I'm doing just one more, I believe, because this, yeah, I'm not gonna beat the city states without bison. I don't think. Okay, we're definitely moving it there.
so now that we finished Monument, I'm gonna tell you that I think 100% this city should have been Granary first instead of Monument.
Really?
Because
these
the
two?
idea is the Granary would have came down a little later than it did, rather than the Monument did, for sure. But in like 2 turns, you're gonna have started a caravan, and that caravan would have been able to feed Belgrade. while it's building pyramids. So for that reason, I think granary first in that city is good. Additionally, you're working a lot of granary tiles, right? Like you're working the wheat, you're working the bison, you're working the deer in Belgrade. A lot of, the reason that you want to do granary, you want to rush a granary is because the just net yields from it are insane. Obviously,
so you would have gone granary and then caravan and then monument afterwards.
Yep.
Okay.
I think there's if you watch Gao's old videos, like he prioritizes monuments like crazy. And for a while, like when I was still like kind of identifying the way I play the game and how I see Liberty as like a tempo tree, building monuments doesn't give you a lot of tempo. It helps you push policies, but pushing policies isn't really what we care about. We care about naturally our GA. So the way that helps you do that is you want to be really high in sim. You want to be really far ahead in sim. I could give a fuck about my culture for the most part. So that's.
And you were arguing about like building these monuments for border expansion. The problem was like if you click on Zagreb, the tiles you're growing to are not the hills. Right?
Exactly.
Like these are
the useless tiles.
Yes. And you're gonna grow to like all 5 of them before you grow to a single hill.
Right. So my mind was thinking like 50 turns down the line where it's like, yeah, if I get the culture earlier, I'll get these hills someday. But like realistically, the granary and the caravan is way more important because there's one shop for the city, and now it's like, I mean, yeah, the caravan is just gonna come super fucking late. Although.
Yes, 50 turns down the line is not what you.
But it's not even that. It's not that. It's like, think about it like this: like that city would be 2 more pop, like at minimum, by the time it finishes this granary, right?
True. Oh fuck, and that also.
And then that builds all of your stuff faster. That builds the monument in 1 turn. That builds the amphitheater later. That builds the workshop a turn or 2 faster, right? So. It's a lot of the stuff compounding. I'm not saying you always go granary first. I'm saying in this city. This is why Liberty's hard, right? Liberty's difficult because to play it really well, you need perfect worker micro. And, there's only a handful of players that really got worker micro down well, like super, super, super well, to play it on Liberty perfectly, right? Most players don't need to. They can get away with playing like, kind of lax worker micro because you have so many cities, it doesn't matter as much as like tradition to have really good worker micro. That being said, the hard part about Liberty is identifying what build orders to do and the kind of broader concepts that dictate whether or not like I need to go granary first in this city. If you play brain off, I'm going to go monument first every single time, you're still going to have a good game. Okay, like that's how I played for the first, I don't even know how long, because that's exactly how Gao said to play, and I learned the game from Gao in his YouTube videos. But I will say, I think a lot of developments, I guess you could call it, have happened where also the correct thing is you move this over to the marsh chop, you put that warrior, you take put that warrior there and you take flatland promo. Yep. And then you switch these workers. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, okay, I just realized. So this one was supposed to go to the marsh.
Yeah. And the reason is because we want to bring one of these workers back to our cap. A little bit faster, but it's fine. Actually, this might bring it back to the cap faster anyway, so who cares? And then definitely improve the wheat.
Yeah. Okay.
And are we're growing into the right we're growing into the right tile in Zagreb, right? We have
I should be going to the Jade.
Perfect. But this is why sim can be very time consuming, because when you settle really close together, you're constantly switching tiles. And this is something that is also always queue construction first. Don't just click engineering. You should always queue construction first. It's just like, it's a very small, it's very, very, very small thing, but it does go a long way, because there's been so many times where I'm teching or I finish teching math and I'm queuing construction, and I can't build a coliseum yet, and maybe the city's really fast, maybe I'm a craftsman or something like that, and it's just like a very, very small mistake, but it's actually significant, right? So
Especially on this land where we have like one. I don't think this city can build a circus, no, because it didn't get the horse. So it's like 1 and 2 circus cities, and the rest are not.
yep. I will say though,
Yeah.
you're fairly lux dense, so that's always nice. But
I think also the thing that I like didn't even yeah, fuck off. Um I didn't even consider doing granary first because I never do the double worker and I never have this much happiness. So my mind is always like, well, I'm not gonna be able to grow into it because I guess I don't know. I think of like old Liberty, like vanilla Liberty mindset. I need to switch that pretty badly. Oh, there wasn't a fish. I lied.
I mean, we'll see. There might be one third ring.
So we're just going. I guess
You could chop this too. Yeah. Any
Yeah,
hill
please.
tundra, any hill tundra's worth chopping. This is just a note to anyone watching this. If I see anyone fucking chop flatland tundra, I'm gonna kill you. Because, yeah. But
Okay, so yeah, this is a granary first.
this
I
is
remember
always
that.
granary
That's-
first, and let's rework
That's
the
gonna
tiles.
take me so long to rework my brain on that to like not click monument first. Take forever. Okay. Yeah, bison here.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I get it. Oh,
It's not a big deal. Just move this worker over, and then
and then
this.
he's ox and lets me finish this.
Yep. And now this worker can go back, but it's fine.
He's gonna move here though, so
Yeah. So this working can go back to your cap.
okay.
It's totally fine.
To chop or not to chop, it will not affect the time.
We wanted to save the chop for pyramids, right? So
Right.
and then work
Oh, I
this.
never locked the tile. That was a little bit scary.
And then I would buy the wine there, but that's because I want to ensure it grows to a tile I want. I also probably
Oh, so
would.
it grows to the wheat.
Yeah, but I mean it's not that big of a deal. I just always want to make sure I'm getting my natural. So
Yeah, we got fucked on fish. I guess it's
not
two
really.
fish, but-
Scope just got
Not-
fucking
yeah,
3
no,
fish. What? Bro, that's insane. Make sure you're growing to the right city, right tile in Skopje. Make sure it's not. It's still got the horse. I think it does.
Yeah, so I got the horse. Yeah, it does.
Cool. And then this
Okay,
this
then
archer
this
can
one
come.
we just gotta keep working on the jade, right, to get the granary done faster.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And then this archer can come and help with this camp.
I should be putting a hit on it relatively soon.
You know, I've said this before. I'll always say it, but CS quests are the genuine most high roll you can have in this fucking game. Because if you get really lucky on CS quests, you're gonna have a crazy game. But if you get unlucky with CS quests, your game literally peaks at certain points. And there's really not much you can do about it. Okay, so America is
Oh,
big
hello.
dick swinging. But
That's AI big dick swinging for you. Okay, so this guy's going here. Sad cities,
Yep.
though. Same.
absolutely.
That's so long. And we're not doing this. This is a pipe dream. So now is it green? I guess yeah, 2-turn granary, and that's where that food of
I mean, you should definitely like. If look at this. How close are you to finishing a granary?
2 turns.
No. Like
Oh wait, can I 1-turn it?
you were. I think you're one hammer off one turning it.
There's no way. I don't have another tile with 3 hammers.
You don't. No. But
Wow.
1.7. So small worker
well not.
movements in the beginning of the game can go a really long way.
Really fucking do. It's crazy. Oh, that's nice. Now I can chop. Do I chop this march or do I send him
Yep.
back?
Chop the marsh, and then the other worker in Sarajevo can go improve cap tiles, and then the marsh chopper can go to the new city, and it'll all work out. So like this should go to Deer. To Deer.
Okay.
Yep. Perfect. Okay.
And this is improving bison before chop, or no, is it chopping first?
When do you grow?
3 turns.
So I think you can improve bison, and you'll still make the chop in time to finish the granary. So improving bison here is just good. Like,
Oh, he cleared the camp.
yeah, it's fine.
It shows that. Oh well. I guess I'm just gonna let him deal with that barb then. I'm not gonna give a shit. Start maneuvering.
Just make
to clear
sure
that
the
again.
yeah, okay. The barb can't take your worker, so it's fine. You should definitely try to meet some people. But yeah.
True, this archer. Yeah, it's one of those things where because it's an archer, I'm like inclined to go deal with barbs with it, but it's a scout first, so.
Yep. Exactly.
I do want him to hang out a little bit. I guess the warrior can just kind of escort. Okay, right, grew over here. Oh, that's right, we have the sheep town now, so no. Oh, not tower.
And
Another
because
upside of-
what'd you say, Kuba?
Go ahead. That's another upside of min-distance settling is that you're growing to all of your good tiles because all of your good tiles that are not in your cities are 2 tiles away from some city.
Yep.
I think I have everything the way I want it.
The one thing I will say is settlements is obviously phenomenal. The one interesting thing that could maybe freak you, you can work more hammers early. Like you can afford to work that jade in Zagreb like the entire time. I know you are, but I'm kind of just like saying like that's the correct thing to do. Yep. Always on deer there. We want to be working the best tiles we can. What'd you say?
I'm gonna send this worker. This worker is gonna go to the new city, I think.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna. I guess we can improve the deer first, and then chop it, or. Well, no, because we want to chop these two to help just get it done. So now, is it worth it to like give this city either the iron or the deer?
I wouldn't. I don't think so. Belgrade really wants the.
Pyramids.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
That matters more.
Also, you can check if it built a worker or not. Yeah. Nope.
If anything, I'd rather work that sheep tile.
I think this city could afford to not work one of the lakes and just work both sheep.
Yep, 3 turns.
Something you should try to get in the habit of is if you go to the bar, like hover over the granary icon in Sarajevo.
2 turns.
So
minus 3
I'm
turns.
always looking on the right side and the left side. Because the left side is how much food I am off from growing, and the right side is how much hammers I am off from finishing finishing the building. So pretty much when you watch me play either on stream or whatever, you'll see I'm constantly just double checking this, double checking that, double checking this, double checking that. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Yeah, I need to do that more because I spend way too much time in here. I feel like that's why I miss things and I don't do things I need to do on my turn because I'm like going into this to like look here, but I can realistically just be like, okay, what's it say? Okay.
Yep.
That warrior's gonna escort. I don't necessarily want to just like risk popping up on the hill and getting shit on by barbarians again. Learn my lesson. We'll take a look. Okay. granary come out any faster.
I would improve the wine here. We have a new city coming down.
Well, I guess to the bison makes most sense here. It's a weird way to get there fast, but okay. Deer and the bison here. Yeah. This is the best arrangement. So I think yeah, just chop and then just have it maneuver.
Just
I guess
make,
this guy could have gone and chopped first, but
just make sure when you finish this chop in the deer, you're switching to Belgrade.
it's not currently there.
So honestly, preemptively, you could switch the deer and bison
Oh,
and
God.
Skopje. Yeah.
Was I? I wasn't working that.
You just finished it this turn.
I did? No, because the worker can move.
Oh yeah,
think I missed
it was
turn.
next turn.
Actually.
But you lost one hammer. It happens all the time.
Sheep is my inclination.
Yeah.
I played a live game where I settled an island. I just got settled the island. Now every time I see an island, I'm just like, oh, should fucking settle that.
I think it could work sometimes, but most of the time not.
Is there any logic in doing this?
Of course.
Is that just like,
Of course there is.
uh,
Then you can give this the iron for a turn.
nice?
That
Yeah,
island was.
What'd you
If
say,
the
Kuba?
island was scouted earlier, I think that it's a good settle because you can come onto it.
this one, yeah. It would have, yeah, it would have been really easy to just hop over to it.
But
Yeah, no, I remember I tried to settle an island one time that was like out here effectively, like distance wise, and it turned out to be a shit island, which is rare because the like that. And I literally had just watched the video where you were like, "Islands are never shit," and I was like, "Sick, I'm gonna go settle this island." It was like a fucking snow island. I was like, "You gotta be kidding me."
Yeah, on average they're not bad, but sometimes you get some exceptions.
A set exception.
So this could go caravan. And you could argue that Zagreb shouldn't go caravan; it should go Coliseum, while Sarajevo could go the caravan. And you could send a caravan to Malacca if you're worried about not hitting natural as well.
I guess theoretically the warrior should have gone first, but I figured it was safe.
It's definitely safe.
Alright, can't you mother effers put a hit on this shit for me? I get so frustrated with the AI when they don't do the things I need them to do for me. Okay, so this one's going to this city.
Yeah, that should go straight on the wine tile if possible.
Wait, is it?
Yep, you get there a turn faster.
The fuck is this? Hang on, if I go here, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's because the freaking American Warriors are doing American Warrior things. It's probably Circus here is better.
It's a difference in one turn, and I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Now we can give our iron back to our cap. Perfect.
Wait, why? Oh, the worker is letting me see both out. Alright, cool. I guess I could still check to see if it's coming. That's nice timing right there on that growth. Actually, wait.
Part of me is almost like you should almost want to like buy that wine tile.
That's probably bad. Can I? No, I gotta
When do you
wait
grow?
for.
When do you grow? When do you grow? One. Okay, so we'll
One
see.
turn.
If you
We'll see.
grow to the one on the right, you're buying the wine,
Yeah.
and then you'll improve that next.
Right.
It's a bit more important to improve that than chop, in my opinion, because you could just go and chop right after that, and it's fine. And we need to be happy.
This is a horse. I steal this, and then I'll grow into the jade.
Yep.
Yeah. Not a player. Nice. The dude on literally the opposite side because he probably sent a scout straight at us. Love to see that. Turns.
Up, you grew. Nice. Head to the wine.
Erica's making this fun. If it wasn't there, then I could.
Yep, you get there and turn faster.
Yeah. Like in a real game, I realistically would have. But,
I mean, in a real game, no one would fucking be in there. How close
Yeah,
are you
no
to
one.
how close are you to finishing pyramids to turn faster? Don't do that.
Wait.
Don't do that.
Yep, I know. I got a bad habit. Okay.
18.
Fortune zero.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's
that's
never
not gonna
happening.
happen.
So moving to do these chops won't be in time.
And
Actually,
it won't.
no, that's way too far away. No. Okay, so we just improved.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so this is what you were talking about with the.
Yep. Exactly.
Improve that, and then we can chop later. Okay, so then the sitting go down, and the warrior can go over here. Met everybody except one, so I'm not worried about doing that immediately. And they're probably like, this is a vertical map, so he's over here somewhere. That looks good. That looks solid.
Yep. And we can even build a cargo in one of our expands if we want to feed one of our coastals. It's just up to you. If you think the coastals are good enough, I would say feed them. If you don't, then we can do double caravan. But it's
This
up to
one
you.
probably is gonna need to be, well, it does. It's gonna be. It's probably like needs to be fed early, but then once it gets the fish and the lighthouse online, it'll be fine. Maybe. That might not be the correct assessment. I mean, they're both like this one's got fuck ton of granary tiles.
Yeah, I
This
mean,
one looks
honestly,
decent.
I don't think they need to be cargoed.
They look.
And
I mean,
none of them are
cargo-
going to be a guild city, realistically, right? So,
No.
so we can
Like my
just.
guild city. This looks like the guild city.
That
if
is
any, 'cause
definitely the guild city.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I'm almost tempted to throw both guilds here, just because of how few tiles it has. A shit ton of growth, but no. Is it bad to put both guilds in the same city on Liberty unless? Timing of that wine is impeccable. Question is there any way to settle this city so that we get the salt quicker? But I just don't think.
You could go on Maze if you really want, but it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's an idea for sure. I feel like it's probably fine. We'll get there someday.
Again, this is all preference. I settle on resources all the fucking time. I don't care, but I don't think this is one of those situations where it's necessary. So
Yeah, because then I gotta like buy the wine, and yeah, it gets messy. There's also the very, very low chance that for whatever reason Baku just goes, yeah, no, fuck it, I want that.
right now, yeah. You also lose the
I would
horse.
imagine it takes that horse first. Yeah, true. Well, I'm not gonna get this horse, am I?
You'll
I
get it.
I could buy it.
No, you'll get it because it has to cross the river to get the horse. It's not gonna grow there.
What do you want, kitty? Sorry, my cat's harassing me.
There is also an argument to settle on that desert hill, I think.
On the desert hill.
You lose horse. I would rather. I wouldn't settle on desert hill. I'd only ever settle on Maze. Personally,
The only thing I don't like about this is you have to buy a towel because you have no first string.
yeah. I mean, you'll buy the wine in that case.
Oh, true. Yeah. It just takes a while. It just makes it a little bit slower. This is not a granary city. This is we need tile city.
I think monument first is totally fine here.
Come on, worker. I guess I don't really need this. If I get that worker, it's kind of like, yeah, you'll help with roads. This is now gonna do sheep stuff, I imagine.
Yeah. I like sheep stuff. You can start doing roads a little early if you want, but it's up to you. Also, you don't want to grow and split. You want to just stagnate. So just work hammers and stuff in that city. Because we don't want to go unhappy. That's like the most important thing. So I would rework tiles for sure. In split. And then, yeah, that's fine. Then you could do monument.
That's not good.
Yep.
I mean,
No, we're fine on happy. Like you have 8 happiness coming up in the next 3 turns. Or 5 turns, I guess. But Sarajevo can go over there once we get our worker policy. This is one of the downsides, I guess, of settlements, right? You require a lot of luxes and stuff, and Split didn't get its lux up particularly quickly. Neither did the second lux in Libjuania, and Pristina's not a lot of luxes. So it was just like like the luxes kind of stagnated, but that's totally fine. It's fine to stagnate some cities here until we get road policy. So yeah, it's not a big deal.
that for now. Does that get that caravan out sooner? It does, yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
mean,
fine.
it's rare that you get to have a game of settlements when you don't stagnate your cities, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like this is completely normal.
Yep.
Alright. I guess I could.
Yeah,
kinda
improve
speed
the
up this
horse. Improve the horse for
Yeah,
sure.
because that's also a circus, and the faster I get, like, yeah, it should be done by the time pyramid's done. Like there's circus and cap.
Yeah, it works.
Get here.
Check demos here. Let's look at how demos are doing. Pretty good. Turn 40. Vanilla Civ. It's not bad.
I guess I don't really need to be working the. Yeah. Okay. No. I don't know what I'm considering there. It's like brain pudding. So then, I guess with Pristina, it's like, do we want to work the hill?
Yeah, this is fine. It's fine to work that for now. But once you grow it, then just stagnate and work a hill, right?
Mhm. I guess I shouldn't do this yet because I don't really know. I think I should have the Luxes up on mine. Huh. Sure, we've got 2 happiness and 3 turns. Well, yeah, so I don't. Will be fixed.
Yep.
Very, very shocked that the CS are not putting a hit on this camp. I mean, they can literally see, or no, I can't see that unit.
You know, with this archer, you could go meet that other city state that you were referring to earlier.
Should be enough units in this area that, like, I'm not worried. Ah,
There it is.
wow, even Kampala doesn't want to kill it. Although, I think it takes time before it requests that of you, right?
Nope. It'd pretty much instantly be there.
Ah.
I don't know. It just hates you.
Get started on a road. Had early, yeah. Just do red.
Just what you can do is you can bring this to the north, and you can improve that bison tile to the north of you, and then this can go on the horse. You want when you're building roads, you kind of want all your workers like near each other, right? So
Right. Sure, I'm not accidentally growing anywhere. Oh, there he is. Nice. Cool. Alright, well now let's go find natural wonder time. Do I send all my units? I like send this warrior as well. Or is he kind of needed in case
you
America
kind of
decides
want in case like
fuckery?
just something like
Like I
spawns
realize he
or
should be on this hill right now.
yeah,
He's a
probably
bark fence.
scouting.
Well, I mean, he would have settled this, but just to see in case America was going aggro. Okay, that's 4 happiness. Now we can grow.
Just work. You don't need that much food. Just work the wine, right? The gold is worth more than the 1 food right now. Because it's not like growing is going to be much of an issue, right?
True. I just my logic on doing the deer is to get to this wheat tile as fast as possible, and then we'll do the wine, kind of deal. But
No, I mean right now because we're going to eat through this happiness in 1 turn.
that's true. Yeah, that's true. There's 2 cities growing. 3. Yeah. Never mind. You're right. But yeah. I guess we want to improve the deer rather than the chop. Actually, no, the chopping would get it. Well, but also pyramids. So like, there's no point in.
Yeah, there's no point in finishing the chop. Just put a turn into the. Okay.
So
So
you're gonna say
I was going to
you're
say
gonna do roads here.
put a
Yeah,
turn in, put a no to a turn in the farm.
Oh, and then have it road to split and then improve that.
So what you should do here's something cool you could do. You can cross the river with that worker, the one on the deer. Yep. And then cross the river with this horse worker. Yep. And now they're gonna spawn. You'll be able to finish 2 rows in 1 turn.
I still want this horse done so I can go immediately into a circus. So this guy now has to come here.
You can road on the bison and then improve the worker with the pyramid worker. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Okay, so I'm
Just put a turn into a
oh
farm.
yeah, turn the farm here and then okay.
And then
We
let's-
actually should have crossed with the other worker, not the horse worker.
which one?
Wait, true. I was working that horse tile in a city.
The
This one.
worker that's in the left city.
In scope jet? Yeah. True. Kuba is correct.
I'm surprised.
Kuba's pretty good.
For once in his life.
Shut up. You can grow and like
Watermelon.
you should grow in 4 right now if you can.
Yeah, so we're 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's true. We can.
So Zagreb should.
There we go.
Yep. Perfect. Zagreb should certainly queue up the next caravan, because it's got the most hammers. Alternatively, you could go caravan in a different city and just queue a random wonder in that city and just try to get it. Do that all the time.
I don't think we can ever.
Me,
there's no
this is a game where you would potentially want to do engineering into civil, especially with the incentive to try to get Petra. So I think that's fine. If you want to do that.
Yeah. I think it could maybe hard build it if it got there fast enough, but maybe not. Probably not.
I mean, not with that Axum cap, right? So.
Yeah, no. So then I mean, watermelon here feels fine.
Yeah,
right?
watermelon definitely feels fine, and then you can unwork that deer and work the wine instead. Yep.
I guess I could give it a lake tile, but I don't need to do that.
That's
right now.
totally fine. You just want the hammers. We could. How many? You're growing in 4. Yep. So you don't want to grow in Zagreb yet. Perfect. All right. This looks good.
There we go.
Actually, you can grow in Zagreb because you're gonna grow, finish the Coliseum. That'll push you to 6 or to 5, and then you'll still be +1 happiness next turn, even though you're growing in 5 cities. So
I can do it.
This is fine.
Yeah. Trying to make sure that I wasn't botching it. Okay, Taipei has decided that it doesn't need workers anymore. That's one better. So if there was another Liberty player in the game, is a turn 43 Pyramids quick?
It's not quick, but it's not slow. I'd say it's like 9. I'd say turn 40 is like very average. Turn 43 is fine.
When I do my lib, or I've done like 3 libs, and I like keep the stats on Excel. I think I've managed to get the pyramids done and all the expands before turn 40.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on like you didn't have your fastest expand would have been as fast as this cap. So. Yeah, so road on the tobacco tile.
And then the other worker.
And then improve the horse. Yep, exactly.
And now we build a circus.
Build a circus. You could just piece this. You don't need more workers. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then we can finish this road next turn.
Yeah.
And then you can finish this chop. Chop, 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 chop. And ideally, this gets us our thing a turn faster, but
we shouldn't have chopped because we wanna put those hammers into the aqueduct, right?
yeah, probably
Let's
actually.
see.
Yeah, no, you're right. Oh, I'm an idiot.
Whatever.
Wait, you
What
don't
am I
think you
gonna
want
do?
to chop this?
No, so you want to chop it, but you want to chop it next turn. Because you get aqueducts, and the next building you want to make is an aqueduct. It's fine. It's fine.
Wait. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's a good point. But
It's all good. It happens.
Liberty is hard.
Liberty is hard.
Liberty is hard. I normally don't play Liberty, but I feel like the weirdest thing. I mean, I've almost purely been practicing Liberty because I feel like I never get Tradland anymore. At least once I've learned what Tradland actually is, because before it was pretty much fucking everything because I was stupid. But now I feel like the more I played Liberty, the more I understood. Like the more I understand Trad for some reason.
That's the beauty of this game.
Weird. I don't know why it works that way, but I think it's
It's
maybe
okay.
because I
Work
never had
the
an
work the
understanding of
tobacco.
wooding.
Work the tobacco in that. Instead of the
I
no, instead of that 2 food.
I posted a Tradland in somewhere today, and Ryan and Sierra yelled at me that this is not Tradland.
It's like
Not
fucking.
Tradland.
It's like meh Tradland.
Yeah, wait, hang on, I grew so many places.
Yeah, you grew in 5 cities. All right, cool. Let's send this to Malacca. This caravan that's coming out of Sarajevo.
Okay, I'm looking at like the town management because I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to grow. I need 5 food. That's not happening. Okay. Watch where it's gonna be there now. Nope. Okay.
Yeah, so this worker can come down. The worker on the horse can come down.
Way to here.
No. One down. One.
Here?
Yep.
Oh, right, and then yeah, okay, I'm starting to understand like the slingshot concept of like.
Yep. You're just bouncing workers all game. And then this
This
can go
road
on the
system.
hill. This can go on the hill, like south of you.
Right here.
No, the hill south. Yep. Because then we can finish the
Right.
next road, next turn.
Yeah.
And then this,
One turn into Aqueduct. Might as well just put some hammers into a Coliseum.
or a shrine. I don't mind building early shrines here because it's like something to overflow and it's not like lost hammers. You know what I mean? So, like you're gonna build shrines here anyway eventually. So send this. I would 100% be sending this caravan to the city state that has the quest, Malacca.
Straight from here, or
Yeah,
maybe to the cap.
straight from there. There's no modifiers right now, so I mean it'd be like 1 or 2 gold more. It's not really a big deal. We're not doing it for the gold. We're doing it for the happiness we're gonna get. And
this
then
one's
this can road.
actually,
and,
wait.
yeah, this roads.
Yeah, he can road, and he can still do that.
You can chop. Okay, or that. Oh,
Well,
I
so
see what
guess
you
my
mean. I
deal
see what
is
you
might
mean.
as road slingshot, and he still improves the bison.
Yeah, that works too.
And this guy,
You can go improve some fishies.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, farm or fish, probably.
Probably the
I
fish.
guess I could do the farm first.
Yeah, whatever you want. It doesn't
Fish
matter.
is, I mean, it's a 3-yield tile either way.
These are, yeah, these are very
it's-
inconsequential decisions.
Yeah, at this point, it doesn't matter.
And then this is 4 more happiness. And
Just keep going
Pristina.
over that. I would just improve first. Shot doesn't do anything.
I think that's fine.
I want to work a growth tile here if I can. And grow into
I mean, you can work the split's definitely stealing some tiles.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's be a
So
little
just
rat.
give it the wine. Yep. And then nice.
That's the only city that's growing this turn. This city doesn't have any other tiles.
You have 4 happiness coming up once you finish the worker movement in Pristina.
True. Oh, right. Yeah, the city's just on a random hill.
And you can give this one of the lake tile, like the lake tile that the other city's working, and then the other city can work.
Oh, totally forgot about. Yeah, okay. So we'll do this.
Yeah.
That's also.
Okay, we're very close to natural. After this policy, we're going to definitely have it. And now we should try to finish all of our roads as soon as we can. But
So go improve the wheat.
yep, definitely improve the wheat. But this worker that is on the wine, not that one,
It's turquoise.
the other one,
Oh. Ah.
should head over to Libjuana. Yep. Put it on that hill. Yeah, exactly. And now we can road there. And then we can have one worker right behind the other worker in Belgrade so that it can move in and build.
Shut this one.
No. So this can, it doesn't matter the order. Just finish that road. And then this one worker can sit in Belgrade, the city. Like just sit in the city because we want to slingshot these workers to Libjuana.
Gotcha.
Now we just queue up aqueducts. Every city.
You want to finish this shrine?
Yeah, I mean, just finish it. It's fine. It's one turn.
This one, ditch it.
This one, not so much.
Yeah, if it was gonna finish. So then here, do you literally go aqueduct before granary, or is granary just?
I would
better?
definitely go aqueduct before granary because granary is not giving us any. Like it's only giving us 2 food.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, sure.
And then you can like chop out the aqueduct in Pristina probably. All right,
So now I don't need currency yet, right? So
if you wanted to contest Petra, you could contest currency. Like, let's see. Do we have any? Do we have good stables? Like, I don't think so, right? Like, it's only the cap.
no, we have like, yeah, it's the capital one.
So going stables doesn't make sense. We have. How many freshwater farms do we have? We have a good amount. Pristina's got some. Zagreb's got some. Sarajevo's got some. Ljubljana has a lot. I mean, you could argue going to civil first is good here. I think we have enough food from our Pantheon. So, I think going workshops here is good. So I would probably go workshops first. And you could go writing as well. Just it's a one-turn tech. And then...
In case, like, there was a city that had a... Like, is this, like, you go writing here with the intention of, like, if a city finishes an aqueduct abnormally fast?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But... And it's, like... like, at this time, it's usually everyone's got it. So it's not like we're saving science by not teching it. So it's just like...
So with this worker, am I just putting a road on this hill or waiting until they get here?
I would wait until they get there. So in the meantime, just chop everything. Like, you have 2 first ring chops, you should definitely do.
Yeah, like chop, and then improve.
Can you finish? Wait, how far off are you from this culture policy?
I am...
7, okay. So never mind. I was going to say, it's almost worth it to, like, unwork all your tiles and just work hammer tiles in Pristina to finish it. But it's not a big deal. Now we can build some mines, build some farms, right? This is why having extra workers is actually totally fine. Because when you settle min distance, like, you're settling all of your cities really fast, and you're going to be able to, you like are short on tiles in the beginning of the game until you get workshops and stuff like that. So. And actually, it looks like Sarajevo's a better balance. It saves you one road. So maybe you do that instead of Belgrade. But if you care that much about... Actually, I guess it saves you 2 gold. So, yeah, just bring that over to Ljubljana. Like those workers. Yep, do that one for sure. and then this other worker can go. Yep. Right there, and then the other worker goes straight right. Yep, and then this other one can like improve a mine or something, or maybe improve farms south, or whatever you think you need.
Put it on that hill and then.
That works too. Aqueduct then water mill.
Aqueduct. Right.
Actually, it's
Yeah,
aqueduct
I
and
watched
then
that
like
video.
probably a caravan or something.
I guess this one can go do the fish and this can do the hill and then.
All of this, or either the farm next to Belgrade, the freshwater farm. It's a good idea. Good option. It's just like, what tiles are you gonna work? That's always what the question is. Like, you should always be improving what tiles, whatever tiles you're gonna work, just improve them. So you can't really go wrong here because you just don't have many tiles. And then this should now next turn can build one road, right?
Go up on that. Or actually, yeah, no, I can just put it right there.
Yep, and then it can go over and chop. Then this other worker that's on the desert tile can go onto the forest. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Didn't need his military to cock block my archery, but wait, which worker?
The worker
This one.
should go onto the forest tile without improving the road.
Right, and then yeah. I see the logic.
Good. All right, nice.
I'll see you next turn. Or this turn. Might actually still have a chance at that horse.
I think you'll get it.
So road this. Oh, really?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm IGing. I'm IG.
Yeah, just delete it. Just fuck this guy.
Not. It's bad enough the American Warriors cost me one turn on my wine. I'm not having it.
You already have that done.
Oh, there's already a road there.
So no.
Well, I don't want the. Oh, because I want that road. Yep, I see the mistake now.
It's fine. Just put it down. And then improve the farm, I guess, with the other worker. Yeah. No, just farm, and then yep.
Yeah, I forgot that this road was here, and then I just
Yep. It's
went
fine.
full retard mode.
All good. It happens. Aqueduct. And then we should feed whatever city we think needs the most food or the most help.
If it stays that way, but.
We'll build coliseums. We'll,
Holy hell. Okay, I'm doing it again. Through, damn it. What the fuck?
It has nothing else to do. It just builds units.
I don't know. I just wish they would update the single player modes so that there was a way to make it so that it can I wanna do the sheep. I feel like
Sheep's good.
sheep tastes good. Sheep has been very, very good.
See, you really need a natural wonder here, because if you
Yes,
find a natural wonder, then you can get that CS as a friend, which is a happy CS, and that'd be really good. For this work, I'd feed Pristina or Zagreb here. Pristina's got a lot of tiles it can work. Zagreb also has a lot of hills it can work. That's the thought. Belgrade also you could feed, has also a lot of hills. Probably feed Cap. Can't go wrong ever
Wait,
with
feed
feeding
Cap?
Cap. No, you're sending it to a seed.
No, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then I like feeding cat. Yeah. I always do that once. At least. It's fine. Just want to get the aqueduct done. Maybe before. Probably not. Is Gao onto something though with the whole concept of like if it's like one turn off? Like I know if it's same turn, then you just stall your growth. But like
If it's one turn off, wait. Or I
2 turns off, you just keep going.
Hawks did the math. I don't fucking remember.
I guess if we go there.
Road. Nice.
Actually, this chop might maybe makes it like one turn off. 8.95. Oh, I don't think.
It won't.
Fuck, it's no, that's better. I guess then we want this city to have a hill because I'd rather have that be a freshwater farm.
Sure.
Local city states. On all the fish. Still hitting Golden Age before.
Hmm.
Well, at least I think we're still naturaling. It just needs to be on the same turn because we adopt the policy afterwards.
You could also wait one turn. You know, like max duration or something.
Yeah.
It's usually worth it. Also, if you find one natural wonder, that's 3 happy, obviously, because you get 2 from the friend of the CS, and then also finding it. Okay. So the natural is guaranteed now, pretty much. If so, here's just like probably caravan, caravan, and then a watermill.
A tendency to leave like an additional caravan slot just like open because I just forget.
Yeah, caravans are good.
Yeah, I forget that a lot. I have no build caravan brain.
I think it's easily forgotten, so you're definitely not alone. I would just chop these because why not?
It did not go to Christina. So
It's fine.
I guess that has to do with like this city went down first, right? I
Yep.
forget how
The tile gets assigned to that city. And then yeah, freshwater farms are good.
here.
Do you have a CS? I thought you had a. I thought there was a gold buying CS quest in Malacca. I guess it's gone now.
Yeah, there was. That's speed.
Okay, that sucks. I'd say it's honestly worth it to buy it just to speed it up, but this is just be on farm duty in Zagreb.
Yeah, that's a freshwater farm right there. It's a nice one. We shared. Does this even matter? I don't even.
Not really. Just give it to the city that's the tile that's currently being improved.
Actually, wait. 3 turns. Yeah, no, we'll definitely do that. I got lazy with Sculpture. There was some turn or two that I forgot to.
Liberty is hard. But again, I want to stress, you don't need to play this perfectly to have a good game. And anyone can play like Liberty, like pretty
Oh, it's going to
mediocre.
the horse naturally.
Yeah, there you go.
Question is, do we buy that? Or, like, is the CS going to cross the river for that?
I don't think it will, but I'd say you have
Probably
a
should
ton
put
of
this
gold,
on,
so
yeah.
just fuck it.
Yeah, might as well. And actually, he can go over there and do that.
Yeah. This should definitely, yeah, improve those, and then the city should go into watermill right after this, if possible. Nice. How are the culture quests? That's an ally. And in a real game, you would almost certainly win that. Like, look how fast this fucking workshop timing is. Because of settlements, by the way.
57.
57 on pretty mediocre land. I mean, it's fine. Land's not bad at all, but it's nothing like crazy. It's nothing to write home about. But oh, 56. Potentially even faster.
Yeah, I'd be more inclined to either
Build
do
a
a shrine or
library.
a library.
Build a library.
Personally,
The only reason I'm saying build a library is because we have a mercantile ally coming.
We have does happiness matter when you're in a golden age still?
No, but it does because you're gonna keep growing really fast because you got your aqueducts up ridiculously fast. And then I wouldn't buy this salt.
No, because he's probably not gonna grab that anyway.
Yep, always by the hill. Give me one moment.
Shit, my earbuds are dying. I just realized, where did my warrior go?
It's just I don't know. It's in.
I think I might have accidentally. Oh, I just randomly started moving it down here. It was
Yeah.
supposed to go to that hill, but I forgot.
Give me 3 minutes. I'll be right back.
Yep. I might actually need to like charge one.
I tune into someone getting coached by Rye and I see turn 51. Why aren't you resetting yet?
Ryan did not tell me to.
I mean, yeah, fair enough.
I guess the idea is playing to the policy finisher, and then at that point it's kind of no point.
Yeah, fair enough. Have you discussed the idea of buying that? How much does it cost to buy that silver from Taipei? Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. We prioritized buying the salt over here. Which he's going to next. Yeah, no, these desert hills are a pain. And of course, yeah, it's never gonna. We'll buy it eventually.
I see.
I would have never had a chance at Petra this game, especially with that.
Yeah.
Better just ignore it. Okay, 4 turns. Makes sense. Got 9 happiness. Would be fine, happiness wise. This is tougher, although it's growing, so it should finish this library in time. Although it's like policy in the library can do. I guess the better question is, am I still going to be happy by the time I finish the library and the workshop? Although I think I have like a culture. Yeah, no, I have a culture. Yeah, that's right. I can do this because of I'm getting a mercantile ally. That is literally the only reason.
I mean, it's not dire to get libraries up in like your 5 or 6 pop cities. I feel like coliseums are pretty comparable in benefit, especially if you're not too sure you're gonna hit your NGA. I can't see the numbers.
Oh, it's not showing the.
No, like the culture one is just very blurry. Is that
Okay.
7 turns until policy?
This is happening.
All right, I'm back.
1 turn.
Oh. Okay, that'll change things.
Yeah, I gotta take a call.
Yep, exactly. Because this other worker is going to be going to the salt.
Yeah. He's allegedly on a call right now, but I assume he can hear you.
Should probably give that the horse tile or the mine in split. Exactly. Perfect. Things just got really quiet.
Can you still hear me?
Hmm?
Wait, did my audio change?
I think it did.
Oh, you know what? It's because I took my earbuds out. They were my microphone as well. So now I'm using my laptop microphone. That's why I asked if it was bad because
Gotcha. I mean, it's fine. Um, how close are you to finishing Metal Turn earlier? You're really close. If you hover it over the tech cost on the top left, it'll tell you. Top left, very top. 7.
207.
Okay,
So,
so 2-turn library would
here-
definitely get it there.
Yes, it would. Yes, sir.
So look at this. We got 55 workshops, which is good for. I mean, it's acceptable if you were a messenger. Okay. But 55 workshops on cities that can build them all, don't have full build queues. What's our pop?
We are at where the hell did I on the top?
At the very top. 47. 47 pop by turn 52.
What?
It's pretty fucking good.
No, 42.
42, whatever. Same shit.
46.
You can probably grow in Sarajevo. But yeah, like
Oh yeah.
you can kind of you just gotta like when I play this game, I'm staring at these left bars the entire time, and the right bars. That's kind of how you get fast at doing sim.
Oh shit! Damn it! Didn't mean that. Whatever. I think everything was fine. I think I also have a really bad habit in Liberty of like working growth tiles and like not reminding myself that it's okay to like just work hills.
Yeah, hills are great.
I think that's my tradition brain is like we must work growth nonstop.
Even on tradition, they're always, regardless what you're doing, they're always watermill. They should go watermill into workshop probably. Like I can't stress like this is a good example of a city that doesn't need a fucking this does not need a granary, like at all.
Yeah,
Also, you can switch the salt to the horse that you improved. So there's plenty of like there's plenty of food already. It's got a lot of freshwater farms, whatever. Like the granary is really only going to give 2 base food. We'd rather build a watermill, which is going to give a hammer as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's a lot of habits, not just you, but like that a lot of people have, and I think breaking from this like traditional mold is very challenging for some people, but once you kind of get the hang of it and you start thinking about it differently, your game will feel so smooth. And you know, I got some criticism from some of my friends that are really good players as well, and they're like, you know, you shouldn't be coming up with these build orders. You can buy you could buy the lake because then you're gonna be able to grow to the horse, right?
Well, but I want to be able to buy the silver some like sooner than later.
Oh yeah, you definitely do that. Definitely buy the silver.
So can I do that now?
You could probably buy it now.
Yeah, I should have enough just and that's where you're going. Also, I feel like getting the libraries done earlier because of mercantile allies kind of gonna go nuts in terms of getting the unis way quicker. Because like in normal games where you don't have that kind of happiness, like you're not normally you do libraries after workshops, right?
Usually, but I mean, this has nothing to do with the city state, right? I mean, I guess you didn't have to build coliseums. Is that your argument?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Is it at all worth it to just send this worker as a potential sacrifice to a barb to get that rune?
No, just make a scout. It's one turn.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Also, at what point do we want to go optics for these? Probably after
after they finish their workshops, you can go optics. But right now, it's more important to do like stables and work towards, because like you have some good stable cities, right? So, and then work towards civil. It's usually after civil, I'd say. After civil, I feel like it's a safe bet. But you don't want to get them preoccupied in different build queues. So, you know, it's again, this is all a balancing act. And you'll learn when to fit in like random buildings and wonders and shit like that. But I think we can play until turn 60 and then we can call it, because I mean, this game's playing itself at this point, right? Like all the hard parts kind of over.
freshwater farms, that should be chopping these, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you want them to grow there.
Yeah, dude, Axon had all kinds of desert. Yeah. I guess this is a scenario where I don't mind. I guess I should have looked at how many hammers. I need to lower the time.
Let's check our hammers. It's turn 55.
105.
Ooh. COD only has 92k.
Fucking crazy burn. So I feel like, I mean, normally I would find a growth tab, but there is one actually.
Yeah, you just work these.
I can start with mines, dude.
Just build the farms. You know?
Dude, fun. 42. This was a while, or maybe not a while, but. Oh. I'm in GA, I'd rather work the gold. Get all these notifications. Wait, am I not?
If you were going to contest all thing, by the way, I would definitely say split your iron tile.
Like now or when
you start it, but I mean right now is also fine, because I mean this.
What is the timing on that wonder? I feel like that's
it's so variable. Like I'd say on average it's like turn 70. Because think of it like this: most people are gonna get workshops turn 60, maybe like 62, 63. Then a really fast all thing in an expand that doesn't have a workshop is gonna be 7 turns, 6 turns. So about turn 70. You can get it faster for sure. I mean, I've seen it go as early as turn like 63. But most of the time, it's not going to be like that. So it's always all thing before workshop if you have a lot of all thing tiles or you know it's contested. So you have...
Does it do the city or the tile that the city's on?
It'll give you a culture, but it won't give you a hammer.
Gotcha.
Because the way that it works is the city tile is always 3-1 if it's flat, right? But the base all thing tile, the base tundra tile is 0. So you're putting, or it's 1 food, 0 hammers. So you're putting 1 extra hammer on it. So it's not extra on top of that 3-1. So it's not going to do anything. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but.
Yeah, no, it does. So, but with this city, I mean, it's literally like 3 tiles. Is it?
I don't think it's worth rushing. I think you can queue it after a workshop, most definitely, but definitely not worth rushing. But the key, I think, to this game is that nothing we did was egregious. Nothing we did was, would upset our neighbors. We kind of just played our land, just kind of hard simmed, did a bunch of trades, or emulated trades. And this is what we're left with, right? Like, very, very strong game. I think the next step would be identifying how to turn this into a win, right? And the answer to that is, this land isn't scalable, right? At least
That's
as
the question I have. It's like, how do you determine like when land is scalable versus when it's not?
I mean, how many tiles can each of these cities realistically work?
I want to say like 8 to 10, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say about 10 total tiles plus specialists, so unis, so that's 12 pop. Schools would be 13. Maybe they're working a workshop too, so 14 pop. You can't win the game on 14 pop in all your expanse, right? You just can't. You're gonna get someone's gonna beat you to space. So on lib, I'd consider scalable as like if you can get to 20. If you can get to 20 pop, you're totally fine in each city. And that's not just about that's about like quality tiles. I'm not talking just like random farms. I'm talking about like good quality tiles in general. Look at this gold per turn, man. This is the wine experience. 50 GPT on turn 57. I mean, you could go crossbows right now if you wanted to.
Damn, even after workshops.
Yeah. I mean, our crossbow timing is going to be like 65.
Yeah, because libraries before workshops, got the extra sun. Kind of fucking crazy.
Maybe a little lighter, so like 67. So 67 crossbows is really fucking fast post workshops, right? And you're going to be on 200 hammers minimum by the time you attack. You're going to attack in like 10 turns or so. So that's 600 gold minimum. It's super doable, right? It's not just doable. Yeah, those are the default. Yeah.
It's stock standard.
Yep, very stock standard. It's not just doable. It's like, honestly, it's probably the right fucking play. Because you could get workshops. I mean, you'd want civil first, right? Because the tiles are actually important. But you could get maybe not. You could probably steal civil. So you steal civil, you steal philo from whoever you kill. You go kill them at crossbows. Right? And this is super doable in every single game. Like that you have a game like this. You could just kill whoever you want at crossbows. But that's if you don't have scalable land. And what makes realistically scalable land isn't super fast. So it's unlikely you'd have a really fast game on really scalable land. So this game is really fast because a lot of our cities are super close. There was good amount of chops all around. We got pyramids, which was nice. There's a lot of unlocked cities. So these are kind of things that help make the game faster. When you have a lot of really, really close cities, typically they're not going to scale as hard, but that's fine. You'll scale to land ships for sure, but you won't scale to space. You know what I mean? So in this case, I'd be looking at Crossbow America probably from this spot. You have so much money. You have so much, you're going to have at least 100 base signs by the time you attack. It's just really, really strong game. You'll be able to steal at least 2 techs, hopefully 3. And it'll come out of nowhere. You'll be able to build 70 to 80k mil in 3 turns. Right? So incredibly powerful if you can transition. This is honestly this is similar to a factory arty timing. If you watch my stream, you've probably seen me do it a couple times because I love the timing. But this is this is the crossbow equivalent, Like, you get really fast workshops. They're up really fast. Like, look at all your fucking workshop builds. The longest one is 6 turns. Right? Like, that's genuinely so good. Right? We're going to be in golden by the time we attack, too. So, this is if your land isn't scalable. And again, this is all subjective, right? Like, you could argue, well, I could go freedom or something, which is a little suspicious in my opinion. But, you could argue that for sure. And you could say, I could scale on this. And maybe you could. Maybe you have some play. But in general, I think oftentimes you're going to find yourself in a spot where your land is very, very close. You packed as many cities in as you could, but, you're not going to make it that far. And that's kind of what this is. So this is kind of how you'd pick your secondary policy. It's kind of, what are you looking to do after this? What are your next steps? If you're planning to sim to like land chips or something, piety is always a great option. If you're not, build your shrines, build your temples, build your markets, because you're going to go kill them at Artie, right? So, it's kind of just like, what kind of game do you want? What kind of game, what is your Civ good at, right? This Civ wants to go to, you're not going to play Yugo shit, but the Civ wants to go factories, right? So a lot of times you want to sim, and that's totally fine. But I think this is a good example of land which we supplemented the lack of food with a Pantheon that really helped our game. But eventually that Pantheon's not going to be able to save us anymore, and we're going to be left with like some pretty sus tiles. So the way you fix that is you go honor second, you take some more land. But, that's for a multiplayer setting, of course. If you're just playing single players, whatever. But again, that's not me saying think crossbows every game. I think this game you could think crossbows. Why? You have wine regional. You have a ton of gold, ton of happiness from these allies and stuff. You're natural to GA, which is super good for crossbow timings. So I think this game is screaming I could go crossbows. Most games are not screaming I could go crossbows. Most games are, okay, I have to wait to at least Artie. Maybe even Artie's a stretch. Maybe I have to wait till land ships. It varies. So there's a lot that goes into the equation, and realistically, there's nothing I can say that's gonna fix the problem that so many people have where they don't know what to do post the first policy. But the reality is you just got to get reps in. You got to and that's why I told you specifically, don't force classical war. Don't play overly aggressive lobbies. Just work your merchant. Always work your slot, by the way.
Right.
You not only do you have Guru, you also have pyramids in that city. That's why I said for you specifically, you want to play passive, you want to scale up. This is actually a perfect example to say something. You want to build a market right now because we can switch all of our tiles to the wine, right? Like we're working, you see how many 2 food tiles we're working? 2 food, 1 hammer tiles? Just give those to the expanse and take the wine tiles. Now the market is going to be extremely efficient.
Right. And you would only build it in the cap, or would you try to?
No, you can build it anywhere, but I'm saying in the cap is super good because we can take those wine tiles from our expands, give them the 2 food, 1 hammer tiles we're working in our capital. It's the same amount of yields in each city, but now we get the modifier. Yeah, exactly. So.
Okay. So, and do you have to do that before? Does the modifier? It only comes in effect afterwards, right?
After it's built, yeah. So. Yeah. So you want to switch the tiles now. You want to switch the tiles now because, you should know this, but if you look on the top right of your screen, you go food first, then you go gold, then you go production, then gold. So when you produce a market, the gold is calculated after the market's up. So the turn it comes down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, very good in general.
No, this one's also
the 2 food.
I don't have a free worker though.
What?
No, I think I didn't see that one.
Press reset tiles, by the way. You can't press the little arrow key without fucking up the locked tiles in the city.
Wait, where's the reset?
Go to the other city.
This one? Just go for
No,
it?
the other city. Yeah.
Or-
And
sorry,
then press
the one
press
that-
reset tiles on the right.
I got it's Ljubljana on the right. Oh. So then now I just
Now you can reassign tiles.
Okay, so now it's.
I mean, you want to lock all of them, right? But yeah,
Right. I will. Yeah.
there you go. And you're gonna need to do that in all the cities that you did this because you took tiles from them and whatnot, and they lost their. Well, this one actually wasn't affected at all. It was just the other one.
Right. This one might be able to grow. It should be able to. Yeah.
So Skopje definitely needs to reset tiles here. Yeah, like so. As I was saying, like getting to the late game is more important than killing someone in classical because you're gonna learn a lot more from playing like 20 turns of tank war than you would anything else, right? You need to get fucked by not building triplanes. You need to get fucked by bombing into triplanes to like fully learn like a lot of the mechanics and stuff. And the reality is like you're not going to do that unless you kind of take it slow. Like even if the objective play, like even if the objectively correct play in this situation is killing your neighbor, maybe you just sim, you have a suboptimal game, but you force late game more. That way you get reps on it, right? So just something to think about. But I think I'm going to call it here. It's like 10 p.m. here. But yeah, hopefully you found this helpful. I don't know. Oh,
Yeah, I think so. I wanted to show you real quick a different.
Yeah, sure.
So where did it go? I have another Ligon that I like just finished. It's this one right here, and this is gonna be at like for 90, I think. I played it out to factories just to see what the timing would be roughly. I did a lot of things wrong, I think, on this one, but I think this is like hopefully is scalable one. I went priority second, but let's see. Hopefully, it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what I would consider scalable. I could be wrong.
Okay. I mean, you're probably right. Grassland is a good indication of scalable land. Just like heads up. The extra food goes a long way, and the hammers are supplemented by working factory and workshop slots. Yeah, I mean this is super fucking wide. What the hell?
I settled some money shit.
Yeah, that's some far away land, but
it wasn't anyone else's. So I was like, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, look, like Australia's there. You're not going to do anything. I would say like Lithuania and Split are maybe a little too far out where COD would kind of start wanting to pick at them. But yeah, of course, this land looks super scalable. Like you have tons of tiles, you have tons of fresh water. Yeah, 100%.
And I made these two my like build saves. I think that makes sense. But yeah. Okay, so this is more of like this was the pyramid city.
I don't want to say that looks great. I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I don't want you to think that you have to spread really far apart to have scalable land. Like that's not it. It's kind of just like, do you have a lot of good resources in general, like that you want to be working tiles on? If you have a lot of these like 2-1 tiles or something like that, like that's not going to get you very far later in the game. But the way you have this river system is super nice and whatnot. Like there's a ton of tiles. So yeah, this is definitely scalable. You could go to space on this for sure. But yeah. What are hammers like? Curious. 230, nice. 300 food's good.
And I went temples on this one, I think. For piety, yeah, I went that first. My great scientist was like 1700 science.
What are you? What's your religion?
Guru, and and then I had to go Temple Happy.
I love Temple Happy. I think it's a great belief.
Okay.
I think
That's another thing.
the
I'm
one
gonna
thing
follow up.
I would have done, I would not have taken Temple Science. I would have taken Reformation and God Houses.
Houses. Okay, I keep hearing about houses, and I never understand it because I've just never done it. I always go indulgences because but that feels bad on Liberty because it's just a one.
It's so late for that bonus. Indulgence is great when you
Yeah.
spread to your cities on turn 45. Right?
Okay, so sub turn 50 it makes sense, but like when
When you're this late, like if anything, you take swords because swords is just 10% growth, which is a lot. But most of the time, you take Piety Second is great because of houses. Like that's why Piety Second's good because houses is insane. You're essentially creating 6 culture per city out of fucking nowhere. Minimum 6 culture because you could work slots too. You're also creating faster artist generation and faster writer generation. The thing needs to get nerfed.
It's no happiness, it's just culture.
It's just culture.
Building is culture.
It's culture, and by the way, there's an artist slot and a writer slot and a musician slot in every single city now. So that speeds up your artists, that speed up your writers in your guild cities. But it's mostly the base culture. Like that's 6 base culture per city that you just didn't have access to earlier. It's crazy. I can't. You kind of cut out. What'd you say?
I was gonna say it's a good faith thing because, like, I mean, I feel like in Liberty games that I play where I go Piety Second, I never know what to do with the faith.
Yeah. So houses is a beautiful faith thing. Usually on most Liberty religions, you want like mosques or gurdwaras or, I mean, if you can get them pagodas, but they're not going to be up. It's just some side of building. But if you don't do that, like in this case, this is a perfect houses game.
So then, do you ever go like Temple Science first?
No.
No. Okay, so that's
a lot of times I skip Temple Science. Like I think 2 science per city is like pretty mediocre for a whole belief. If you got GT, I think it's meaningful, and you're tall. But like, of course, it's good. Like 2 science per city is good. Like no one's doubting that. But it's not houses. Houses is 6 culture per city, 3 faith. It's just that's like unreal. Obviously, it takes a while to scale up, but the point is you're scaling. So
I'm curious about the other 2 games I have. I have to like a quick assessment of like city placing because some of them that game specifically, those 2 Narnia cities were probably I could have gotten away with not settling those probably because it did slow my game down. I was looking at the like Excel stats that I put up and I was like, yeah, that pretty much slowed me down by about 2 to 3 turns. But I think this one was probably one of the better ones. Although I think I went with the wrong pantheon because this was a plains biome, and I went craftsman and just had a fuck ton of hammers.
hey guys, bring
This one, yeah.
Yeah, Pristine is pretty far away. I don't know if I would.
Yeah, I put a note. I was like, I probably don't have this city because this is like
100% that's his line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
that one was a
not
little silly.
yours.
This one was far, but technically kind of.
Again, that's too far. That's like, I don't know if you play chess, but like that's like a passed pawn. Like that's just so far gone that is just not yours. I mean, even if it was yours, it's like it's almost too far. It's almost too far and too slow. Unless the city itself is so cracked, but it doesn't look like it's that good. I don't know. Like maybe you settle. What you could have done is maybe you settle like Zagreb, like one or 2 left, and then you open up space on that river, so it's like left of horse or something. Like then I could see it, but like right now, like that's just like so far away, and someone could. It's hard. It's going to be really hard to defend that city if you get attacked.
I mean, it caught up and it stayed on pace with their cities, but yeah, it's a weakness for sure.
Also, you don't have a stable in that. What the fuck?
I don't. That's what I'm talking about. Zagreb went first though, because Zagreb was effectively like my shrine. I got decent gold ruins, so
Yeah, no, of course.
the rest of them, yeah. Okay, I guess this was a grassland biome, so craftsman is probably better here.
Craftsman is correct. I mean, again, like you don't have to go settlements or craftsman. I just think it's the most consistent option. For you, I mean, sim looks good. If you're hitting 90, like pre 90 factories on lib, like obviously you're doing something right? Like, I think for you, like you could definitely try some single player games where you try Messenger out, where you, maybe try a Culture Pantheon, see how that goes. Maybe you don't care as much about naturally your GA, but you take the GA first policy and then you're able to open piety like 10 turns minimum sooner than you normally would, right? So there's like a lot of different things you can test, that, I think one of the worst things that you could do is get into this rhythm where you only take craftsmen or settlements because you don't think there are any other options, when realistically, like, you can pretty much make everything work on lib. Lib is so flexible, like, yeah.
Like with the culture pantheons, what are you generally looking for? Is it like 2 per city, like for God of the Open Sky versus Rite of Spring versus what's the other one?
Oral Tradition.
Yeah, that's the other one.
It's tough. Like there's there's no fixed number. Yeah, that's in Bumblefuck, bro.
That's the shit Snow Island.
That's not even that bad. What the fuck do you mean? That's double stable. That's like
but I was,
4
like,
fish, bro. 4 fish, double stable, unique lux. Get the fuck out.
I was just disappointed that there was like a significant.
You're disappointed in that. You are high. What? Unbelievable.
No, it ended up being a good city, but Christina was probably my stretch. This is one of those like ones where it's a week. It has to.
Disgustingly far.
Yeah,
Disgustingly far. You need to, like, min distance is fucking. I hope this last game showed you how strong min distance is, because
it definitely did. I've min distance. I've not. It's not even been a freaking concept in my brain at all. But
obviously that city's great.
yeah,
Your scope cheese looks good. Libjuani looks good. These are all like min distance, so this looks good.
Yeah.
It's just Pristina is like suspiciously far. Also, I don't know. I wouldn't have put it there. I would have like tried to, like, I mean, look, Axum's just gonna come and like fucking obliterate you for that.
Yeah, this was me.
Isn't that his Lux? That's his Lux. The fuck?
I was just kind of like, well, I wonder if I can get away with it.
I mean, yeah, when this AI doesn't make sittles, yeah, it's great. But it's not gonna. That would not fly in multiplayer. That's for sure.
No. So like, I would get away with these sticks and then this one.
Yeah, I mean,
There, was even kind of. I mean, it's not super aggressive.
no,
but, like,
that's fair. I think that's fair.
This desert, but-
That's fair game, and that's also a really good city. So,
Yeah, I think this was my first because of the.
like, I would have probably settled.
This was on the board.
Like, you see the left to your left. There's that T and that silk. You could settle like on that flat desert, and you change how you settle Sarajevo. Or like even, you know what I mean, like. That way you don't have to settle Pristina. Because Pristina is really obnoxious. Like, I'm not going to lie.
It's a pretty, yeah. No, this was a stretch.
Like, Sarajevo could go 1 down, and then that city gets cleared out. You're just not on Lux, but that's fine.
I thought about, like, when I was settling this land, I thought about it. So I was like, I'm losing the soak. And I think that's what ended up pushing me to doing this stupid shit. I was like, well, I'm losing the soak by settling this way. So I was like, I need to go and grab this, which was just not smart at all. Also, I don't know why I took forever to grab this tea. It's the only tea in my empire, and I definitely like had happiness issues because of that. So I just didn't like, and it shouldn't have been a tile that was that difficult to get. But the weird thing was like the way the borders do. Like, Belgrade grabbed the horse, so then Split didn't prioritize the tea, even when I put this in its border.
I mean, why didn't you go like Split like 2 left or something off river, and then like on that tile, so you get the. I guess you have Ivory, multiple Ivories.
I guess I wanted to be on river.
I mean, if you have, is Ivory your regional or?
Yeah, Ivory is.
Yeah, so I think I would have done that to pick up the Ivory, and then you go like coastal, another coastal like min like right there to pick up that T, and then you send cargoes or something, and then you change how you settle get Zagreb. Like, there's a lot of different options you have. I like the thing for you is like get in a habit of trying to map out what's like. If you were in Axum's position, would you find this like ridiculous? And like, yes, you would. Like, maybe you don't find Pristina that aggressive, but like if you're a COD, like a COD's to your right. Like, I mean, it's not ridiculous. I mean, I'm not. It's not. It doesn't even seem that crazy. But knowing it's his,
not crazy, but it's weak. It's like, how do you defend this?
You can't. It's so far away from everything else. I like having like, in an ideal world, like there's a perfect circle around my cap, and then that's how I settle my land. Of course, it doesn't always work like that, but, yeah. How about that? Wouldn't that be nice? I think there's a what?
This city state, like if it had just been like one up a little bit more, I easily would have slapped the city down right there, no question to ask. But I guess I probably still.
I mean, the thing is, like, you get all those freshwater tiles, like you get all those river tiles. If you settle Sarajevo down, like you can work them all in that city. So there's not even that much of a lack of tiles in that. It looks like there is because you're settling on flat desert and 2 of your adjacent tiles are flat desert. But other than that, like you're totally fine. Yeah, I mean that's fine.
I think the problem I had is like with settling here is I just didn't. I don't know. That felt like that was impossible. Although I don't know, he had a lot of jungle. Maybe it was.
I mean, it is a little aggressive for sure. Maybe you go on T then, or something, or not on T. Maybe like I don't know. I feel like there's a way to settle this where it's fair for both people, and you get the setting, and you don't have to settle Pristina. Maybe Pristina's fine. Who knows? I just think that structurally it looks really fucked.
Yeah, undoubtedly. I almost thought about this is one of those like late like so I think I went did I go Piety? Oh no, I hadn't. No, I did go Piety. So I guess I determined this feels like scalable land. There's river systems
100%.
everywhere.
Yeah, the river system's great.
And I was even starting to think like, I mean, these islands aren't too far from me. I know there's other coastals in the game and they're gonna be looking at them. So I was like,
it's not that. It's like if they see you settling those coastals, they're just gonna take them and take your tech. Okay. And then there's no way you can really punish it. It's literally just like a perfect situation for a coastal player. If there's like an inland player who's got 2 random islands, and those are 2 techs I don't have, and he's on the complete opposite side of the world, why wouldn't I take those cities? And this is something that happens all the time post frigates. You just get hard taxed later on. It just feels like shit. But
those were ass. Well, they're not ass, but they're not great either.
Food's a little low, but it's fine. Yeah. But yeah.
Also, I don't know. This is the last thing, and then I won't. By the time it's like, is my cap like too low a pop here? I feel like that's in all 3 of these games. I don't know if you're looking at the pop, but I always feel like before the one that I did with you just now, that my cap is not growing quick.
What tiles is it working? It's working in market. Why is it working in market?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, the main thing is you're unhappy, but yeah, are you feeding cap? Looks like you.
I think I have 2 going too. Yeah, I have 2 going Belgrade.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is more of like a happiness problem, and you can fix this by sending these trade routes out and then buying the Lima city state because both of those things need truffles. But I mean, I don't know. I think this looks fine. Your cap's the highest pop city, so I don't think it's anything crazy. I think you need to do a better job looking at city states.
Yeah, I definitely I ignore city states a lot, which is not good.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much. Like, I'm gonna have to like sleep on this and let my brain like.
Yeah, I'll post this like today or tomorrow, or whatever. But so you can rewatch it.
I'm definitely gonna rewatch it. At first, I was like, that might be good. Now I'm like, yeah, no, I need to rewatch that and like, fucking.
Yeah.
Shoot it again.
Cool. All right, man. Well, your sim looks good, and I think the coolest thing is like you're like pretty new, right?
I mean, I've been playing, so like new to lekmod. Yeah, like I think in terms of like multiplayer games, I maybe played for like 6 months, but not like consistently like every day.
Yeah.
The total number of multiplayer games I've played is less than 10.
Yeah. So
So yeah, very
just
new.
I guess a good motivator for people trying to get into the game. But anyway, cool. Well, best of luck with your games, bro. Let me know how they go.
Thank you. I'll try to get in some more. I have no idea if I can run a multiplayer game on this laptop, but
Yeah, I was home for the holidays like last year or whatever, and I brought my laptop home, and I feel like I was feeding people's ego because I was just playing like shit, and I was like trying to war with like a trackpad, and I'm like, okay, and they're like, oh my god, like what? I remember one person like messaged me, he's like, I've never beaten you before. I'm like, I'm on a trackpad, like, I'm sorry, like, but yeah, it's funny. Anyway,
okay, I have one last singular question.
sure.
Should I remotely consider throwing my hat in the ring for the tournament?
Yeah, I think anyone should try. You're gonna get shit on, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, the reason I say try is because almost every game goes late, and it's rare that you get the opportunity to play late game Civ on as consistently as this. So I would just say definitely sign up. Definitely just send it. Like, what do you have to lose? Most people are gonna be playing tournament lobbies anyway. So of course,
Is there
just
an entry cost?
no,
Like,
no, it's just for fun.
I don't want to do that. Oh wait, also sorry, this is another random thought. I had a Persia game the other day. Is Tradition Finisher turn 45 good?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I got crazy lucky with that game. Two cultural city states gave me a quest for mausoleum that turned before I finished it.
Oh my god.
I had
Wait,
to turn
is that 45 without Oracle?
Yeah, that was without Oracle.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's crazy.
I had a culture from plantations, and then that was the game where Care came in and fucking ruined my game.
No,
I tried
45.
to warn him too. I tried to warn him. I told him it will not work, and I was like,
Yeah,
wait,
but no one that is told that is actually gonna believe it. So.
yeah, I was one turning immortals out of the capital, and I got like a warrior and I had 3 city-state allies, 2 cultural and 1 militaristic, and got a warrior and a chariot archer from them, and he was like coming in with not enough, and I was like, dude, like he just was not prepared for three movement immortals to just come shit on him.
Yeah, I mean Persia's stupid, but
yeah.
Anyway, all right, see you, man.
Anyway, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
See you
no
around.
problem.